And today we're back to Utawarerumono. Let's see, let me just adjust the volume here. I wonder if I could hear myself a little better, but that's how it is. Let us continue then. Under a sky far removed from Yamato's, a lone figure sits in quiet meditation. Ah, it's our girl! She sits with absolute stillness, eyes closed, her mind empty of all thought. All mental distractions vanished, the Pillar General Munechika sits in serene reflection, examining her own heart and feelings. But her concentration is broken by a charming visitor. Excuse me, Miss Munechika, are you here? Yeet. Yeet indeed now. Welcome. Hopefully you didn't get roughed up too much. It will not let you. Oh, yikes. Yeah, Twitch was doing some weird thing with Streamlabs earlier. I had to relog in and everything. Lady Fumariel, what brings you here? Sensing her presence, Munechika strains her legs and turns to face the newcomer. The woman smiles gently to Munechika. You know, I've told you before that you can simply call me Fumariel. I'm afraid I cannot. I owe you more respect than that for allowing me to stay here with your guests, Lady Fumariel. 24 pounds from down sec. Fuck. Well, damn. Munechika lives. Munechika indeed does live. Bows her head solemnly, though Fumariel only tilts her head in confusion. No, I deserve all that praise. After all, this was Ku's request in the first place. Regardless, mere words of gratitude cannot express how thankful I am for your generosity. I wish I could have returned your Akuruka to you, but I'm afraid the people of Tuskor see it as something incredibly dangerous. I apologize, Miss Munechika, but I have to hold on to it a little while longer. Not at all. Your concerns are only natural. Akuru's room. It is Akuru's room. Munechika gives a wry smile on Fumariel's apology. Well, not quite, a little different. It's Tuskor. While Munechika has no details on precisely where she is, she's been placed under house arrest here as a prisoner of war. And yet, despite her circumstances, she has been treated with nothing but consideration and respect. A general of the enemy's army, and a handful of soldiers that served her. Under ordinary circumstances, they would have been forced into hard labor, or worse. For the most part, though, they've been left to their own devices. Far from being forced into work, they barely have to provide for themselves. As long as they remain close by, they are even permitted to roam freely or visit a nearby village. It is not like any imprisonment Munechika has known. Had she a mind to do so, escape would be extremely easy. Do you not think my treatment has been too lax? How many times has she been imprisoned? Technically just this once. We are prisoners of war. Surely see the risk of allowing us to wander as we please. But I don't think you'll enjoy being cooped up in a little home like this, would you? Fumariel tilts her head in charming confusion, what only adds to Munechika's concern. The Pillar General sighs to herself, examining her hostess. She does not see a trace of doubt or hesitation in Fumariel's face. Perhaps this is simply the way prisoners are treated in Tuskor. Back to the subject at hand. Did you have some business with me? Yes, I almost forgot. Fumariel brains immediately. There was something extremely important I wish to ask of you today. A request? Yes? Fumariel nods happily. With an enchanting smile, she continues, rushing over her words in her excitement. I wanted to go out on a little errand, and I was hoping you would accompany me. Accompany you? Munechika blinks in surprise, not fully understanding Fumariel's intentions. If you need a chaperone, Surely it would be better to take one of your own fellow countrymen. Why is that? Remember, I am a general of Yamato. Munechika can't imagine where she wants to go, but accompanying her will bring them both unnecessary trouble. So she thought, at least. Well, to tell you the truth, I hope I could keep this little trip a secret from the others. Fumiro's smile turned slow mischievous, lowering her voice conspiratorially. That will only make it a worse idea to travel with an enemy general, like taking a wounded beast out of a cage with no leash or supervision. If worse comes to worse, Fumiro's very life will be in danger. A very foolish idea. Munechika wants to give a word of warning, but... So, would you come with me? Fumio stares at her, eyes full of innocence, and Munechika falters. Munechika isn't like that, though. Exactly. And she cannot take it. She cannot take this trust. Somehow, Munechika is unable to get the words to refuse her. She ponders it a moment more, and decides that it could be a perfect opportunity to repay her debt. I ship him? She finally responds with a slow nod. Fair enough. Understood. I shall accompany you then. Make him hold hands. Damn, now it's ready, huh? Oh, thank you, Miss Munechika. Fumiro can hardly contain her joy, seizing Munechika's hand in delight. There you go. Wish granted. Well, we better be able to get ready to leave soon. Fumiro hums happily, skipping out of the room. Let's go, I have to read. You do. Sigh. Munechika gazed after her, staring at the room's exit, her eyes far away like a storm just passed over her. Lady Fumiro always seems to put me off balance. Munechika's mother carries it with a certain relief and resignation. Fumiro is truly a beautiful woman. Her figure, her demeanor, everything about her is full of charm, almost frighteningly so. First time Munechika saw her, her beauty made Munechika wonder if the woman was just some fantasy conjured by her mind. Yeah, bro. One conversation. Bro. What happened? You alright? She seems more like a puppy or a white-eyed kitten. And the fucking galaxy rain read. There's an helplessness about her that makes them want to protect her. They've only met just this once. Calm down, my man. Her namesake may be the Moonflower, but it might be even better to say she is, Munechika thinks, an evening star, the fairest of all stars. Munechika catches herself smiling and gains her static composure. She may be affecting me more than I thought. For as long as she can remember, Munechika has lived a life of a warrior. Indeed, she takes great pride in that. Yet whenever she sees Fumio, she can't help but compare herself. To see so blatantly the depths of Fumio's charms compared to her own, got hit with a love at first sight. Everybody does. The world can be cruel indeed. She can't help but mutter to herself as she prepares for their outing. Here's the thing with Fumio, though. You'll see. Let's go visit Relutier, our favorite girl. Another beautiful moon. Speak aloud and fight myself. Fumio's gonna touch and murder the shit out of her, huh? Oh. Damn. You'll see. Fight myself staring up in the night sky. With elegant arc of the moon far above the company, I gulped down the contents of my cup. Refill? Master, would you like another? Thank you. I believe I would. Once the Ruth filled my cup, I looked back up to the moon, drinking in thought. So quiet. It's hard to imagine that this is a country on the brink of war. Honestly, I preferred if we somehow resolved everything before it came to violence. Bonk. Just like considering another drink, I feel something bump into me from behind. Looking over, I see small round eyes peering into mine with great interest. Oh what are you doing? Shinonon, what's the matter? Are you by yourself? Are you alone? I got everyone here. Everyone? Aku, you went out of your way to burn people. Burn them. Come on, Shinonon. If you don't let your hair dry properly, you'll catch a cold. Oh, so you were looking after her. Shinonon's all warm and her hair looks wet. Probably just came from a bath. Oh, store. Have you finished your work for today? Indeed, the moon was so beautiful, I thought I'd enjoy a drink in the moonlight. Would you care to join me? A hard invitation to pass up, I think. Well, as long as you don't mind it getting a little noisy. Then from out of nowhere, I hear chattering noises nearby. Hey, Everyone over here. Peer across the hall and see the girls coming this way. Ew. Miss Nekone, are you alright? I think I was in the bath for too long. Just a moment then. I could find you something cool to drink. Oh, sure. That's no fair. You can't just drink alone. Drinking while moon gazing is a sure sign of refined taste. That sounds lovely, Ushtor. Can I join you too? I have no objections. This drink might be a bit much for those who've just come from a bath, though. But what is the occasion? Everyone's together. Things have gotten quite lively. Well, it's been a while since we all got to relax and take a bath together, so we ended up talking for so long, we lost track of time. Kuon found herself with her hand. Somehow she seems a little overheated as well. I'm not sure we have enough alcohol left to accommodate everyone. And there are those of us who cannot drink as well. No problem. You need not worry. For the sake of the master, we've come prepared for every eventuality. Oof, poor Haku. I have no idea where they pulled them from. The twins started lighting up more jugs nearby, each one full of booze. That's quite a lot. I presume you were not simply trying to get me drunk. And why do you have so much prepared? You must feel left out. Fucked up with that for the drinking. But sometimes you just want to drink alone and stare at the moon. They do not answer, avoiding eye contact. And these two were ready to drink him under the table. What? Were they trying to get me drunk? I can't relax for a second with these two. They were gonna Consent is important. Here. This is Kuwasa. It's been chilled well. Ooh, that's it. I should do it. A drink after a bath really gets me into my bones. Delicious. Drinks like these are what I live for, and that's no lie. Hatsumi knows we knock back drink after drink, letting outside the satisfaction and making kind of declarations you'll hear from drunk old men. Here you are, Miss Nekone. I hope cold tea is alright. Oh, thank you so much for going to such trouble. I will enjoy it. Of course. What about you, Miss Kuon? Thank you. I was just getting thirsty. Sipping at the cold tea Rutie supplied, Kuon and Nekone let out peaceful little sighs of their own. So good. I feel like a new woman. Tea. I want some cold tea, too. Here you are. Thanks. You are welcome. I expected a quiet evening, but suddenly pretty crowded. Still, that's nice in its own way. Now, are there no snacks about this place? Preferably something sweet, like confectionery. Oh, they are the most. Oh god, you know, that was cute. We do not have confectionery, but we do not mind dried fruits. Yes, that will do. One must be mindful of overindulgence after all. I realized whose voice that was and whirled around. Oh, such exotic looking fruits. I have not seen their kind before. Nom nom. Yep, quite fine. My leash. I think. In this state, she projects absolutely no dignity as a princess. I feel my temples aching. Facing Anju properly, I straighten my posture and speak with the sternest tone I can manage. My liege, you cannot be out and about on your own, even when the castle. You must be prepared for attackers to appear at any time. What a shame on all my life. Do not worry, give your subjects and myself cause for undue worry. Yeah. You are always all so uptight. It is most depressing to be constantly shut up in that room. I'm afraid it's for your sake, my liege. Even so, I cannot really abide that sort of special treatment. I would much prefer to join everyone else. Sighed inwardly, despairing at her whimsy. Considering everything Andrew is, assassins can appear at any time and any place. I just can't let her do as she pleases. My liege, I mean no offense, but I can already feel a headache coming on at the prospect of convincing her. But another voice interrupts my thoughts. I think a little freedom should be fine. And I'm the one that invited her. Go on. Rather than have her remain by herself, I think it'd be even safer to keep her with us. Yes, quite right. And if I'm with someone, They surely any attackers would think twice about crossing us. They are quite relieved already. Yes, indeed. Koan smitten. Koan does indeed spit. And leaving Anju alone sounds kind of depressing. Puffs her chest out proudly. Mine, however, only puffs to accommodate another heavy sigh. But still, if having her on her own will make things difficult, it would be better to have her close to people we can trust. I suppose that settles it. It may be safer for you to bathe with everyone else. But remember, do not leave Koan's side or any of the others. Right? You may rest assured. Well then, now Ushtor is satisfied. Are there any more of those fruits? I request the second helping immediately. Points accusingly to the empty plate. There used to be quite a lot on there, but not even a single grass scrap remains. Huh? Did you eat them all already? They seem to have disappeared, somehow. Oh, you do not get fat from eating so much. Surely large portions cannot be good for your body. There. Do not worry, the more I eat, the healthier I become. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Good grief. It's like some people have no sensitivity. Oh no, even Krillin. Go on, I only know my own male perspective, and there may be things my liege needs that I may not think of. I ask you to aid her in such matters. If there's anything you believe will be necessary, feel free to say so. Necessary, You have something in mind? Well, sort of. Krillin. Yes, even Krillin jealous. Krillin looks troubled. There's something occurred to her. It might be difficult, a bit difficult to do. Difficult? Yes, I'd say. And you're probably gonna have to tilt your head at me and ask if we really need it. But I was just talking with Anju about how essential it will be. What are you talking about? Must seek to understand then. What is your recommendation? Kuon replies with the most solemn dignity. Oh no, that's gotta be absurd. It's absolutely necessary that Anju have, well, yes? A pool. Full of hot water. I slumped silently, sighing at this revelation. Oh, I thought they were gonna have to talk, but okay. Even now, you're so fixated on bathing. What is that supposed to mean? It's not me. Anju just said so earlier. She was talking about how she missed a large bath in the palace and wanted to soak in hot water. Well, I did say that. Why, Anju? Are you saying you don't want to have a comfortable bath in a tub full of warm hot water? What? No, by all means, I wish to. Theostorm? I think a bath is needed for Anju and to help both mind and body at ease. This doesn't strike me as the most altruistic of requests. But a hot water bath. Sure, steam baths here are quite soothing as well. Around here, well, in Yamato. Baths in general don't involve hot water but steam. It's not just a matter of them being luxurious. The concept does not even exist around here. Well, these baths aren't bad. But speaking as an expert, I think hot water baths are still the best. Yeah, no, it's not a bad idea. So yeah, as I understand it, you saw water baths in Haku Inn. You were overjoyed, especially War. Of course, I didn't think she'd whip off her clothes in front of everyone and jump in. I'm afraid I can't remember. She breaks eye contact, looking nonchalantly around the hallway. I want a hot bath. Right, I haven't bathed in. I haven't had a bath in a long time. Shower, shower, boys. Ugh, it brings some memories. But that bath was really nice. Being able to soak in the water, stretch out, and warm up. Even my home country of Kujuri, I've only ever had steam baths, so it was very refreshing. That's right. Generally, there's like hot tubs. That you don't care for a steam bath. Her eyes look lidded and dreamy, like she's floating in one right now. Steam baths can warm your body up, certainly, but hot water is best for getting all your exhaustion out. Anju nods vigorously at her words. Yes, we had a hot water bath in the palace. I certainly do not mind steam baths, but I miss the comforts at home. Soaking in hot water, feeling like you're weightless. Indeed, that warmth you can almost melt in, and the feeling of gently floating away. Two of them clasped hands, locked their respective yearning for the bath. I appreciate it if you didn't encourage her. No, don't you think a hot water bath is better? I mean, I get the appeal, sure. No, Ushtor. I wish to take a bath in hot water. See to it. Well, you see, if you truly do demand it, the prospect is not impossible, but it will be difficult indeed. What? Surely all you need for a bath is to pour some water and boil it? The issue is that in this land, water itself is a precious commodity. What? Is that so? But I thought seen a few lakes where water was being collected. Your Highness, that water is stored for our people's day-to-day needs. We don't only have enough to keep them healthy for everyday life, but we do not have enough to spare for the sake of a bath. The water is all the more precious thanks to our preparations for war. Nakane chimes in supporting our points. Well, so this is how it is. Even if I've spoken ignorance, I must ask your forgiveness. Aww. Anju frowns, but almost immediately she puts her hands on her hips as she makes a proclamation. Now that's out of it. I simply must be patient. No, this is not a matter of patience. Meanwhile, filling up a bath, my body and mind can be sufficiently refreshed with a steam bath. Carlo in 3, 2, 1. Nope. That is a problem they had to solve by themselves. And Anju is being U3 as well. 3, 2, 1. Aww. Nah, this is not their story. This is Anju's story. Anju, Kuon, and Osh stories. And look at, and you know, Anju like, okay, I can deal with that. Why? I prefer steam baths. They're my favorite. Okay, now you're just trying too hard. Anju hurriedly adds, nodding to herself. Even though her intent is obvious, the way she immediately dropped the idea inspired an odd pity. Naturally, if you want to invoke the power of position, she conceives enough water to fill a bath for 1 or 2 people. But such extravagance under these circumstances will be an unforgivable offense to the people. Anju still has much to learn of matters of state, but she seems to have grasped at least this much. Kuon, meanwhile, while understanding, lets out a deep sigh. I knew it will all come back to water. I wish I had some kind of magic kettle that would pour as much hot water as I wanted. Hey, what's this about not having enough water? There's lots nearby, isn't there? Huh? Wait, really? Thought we were supposed to be all careful water like it was something terribly rare. What do you mean? I have not heard of any such abundance of water. Group looks over the nursery, down on our faces. With all eyes on her, she tilts her head cleverly. You really don't know? It's right there. A grand lake in the middle of the mountain range that surrounds this place. A lake? That's right. I happened across it yesterday. Well, I was exploring to get the lay of the land. A massive lake, deep and wide. Nursery like the fuck you, idiot. If we had that much water nearby, then we'll never have to worry about running out again. Really, Nursery? What reason would I have to lie to you all? I'm sure it wasn't a dream or illusion. Nursery draws up herself happily, proud to be the bearer of good news, but... I'm sorry, but still is impossible. Wait, why? Surely with a lake of that size... You don't mean to say there's some fell beast lurking the lake and needs to be heroically slain? So be it. I will vanquish the wild monster myself. No, nothing like that. Nursery enthusiasm met with a troubled, pensive expression. The lake you speak of is probably Burroway Lake. We already knew of its existence. Oh, you've heard of it then. Why don't we? The roadside to the lake is treacherous, and it will be difficult to move water between here, even there, even by cart. And even if we were to construct a waterway, the water from the lake will be absorbed by the soil in its passage. It's just too far away. No, they freaks up, taken aback. It's true, I haven't gotten to look myself, but just from checking the map, I can see that building a road there will be tricky. The ground's no good for building. Even a waterway would be a monumental task. Then maybe we could just make a path close to the lake? Well, it will be close if the path were a single straight line. Over land, the way there is not so simply traversed. Right. Even if you could bathe there, you will still have to make the return trip. And after a walk home, you will be sweaty, dirty, and dewy once more. That's true. Even if you had a wonderful bath there, I wouldn't want to come home even more tired than when I left. I see. Well, I thought it was a good suggestion. Protected on all sides, knows each side with a sigh. You need not be discouraged. For now, it is little more than a dream. But we may have a chance to resolve it once our luck turns. Not impossible, I think. Quietly in Kuon's words, still, we had a abundant water source. Baths would only be the start. We could use it for farming and all kinds of industrial help. What can we do to solve this? Time for Haku to show his big brain. Oshtor here. Princess Anju, Sir Oshtor is still in the middle of governmental work. It was an otherwise quiet evening until Anju burst in full of excitement, and it was almost finished too. Well, oh well. Looks like I've got another job to do. Looking at the source of the voice, I see Relute bow her head meekly. I'm sorry, I know you were in the middle of working. No, it is no issue. Oh, I think I had this wrapped up anyway. Squashing my instinctive sigh, I pushed myself together and faced them with the usual stoic expression. What is the matter, my liege? Yes, about that. Mercy, Anju seems to be all smiles. I've just taken a bath earlier, and the bath tonight was especially splendid. Huh? While thinking, I let a baffled sound escape me. Tonight's bath was special. My liege, what do you mean by splendid? You see, in the bathing area, there was some kind of mysterious scented soap. Soap? She is all giddy, excited because of soap? Tipped my head unthankfully, unable to keep up with her smug decorations. Anju, however, did not notice, continuing on with a smile. And it was splendid! A sweet scent, but not cloying. Is that right, Kurusie? Yes, it's a lovely scent. There were a number of other little luxuries around there too, and this incense that smelled like flowers. Quite a variety of little delights. Soap, scent of flowers, and lots of little thoughtful things. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm thinking of following this. Despite Anju's excitement, I can't really see what's got her so worked out. However, another voice cuts in. It's nice to hear that. It makes me feel like it was all worth it to prepare, I think. That soap was made with honey, a number of herbs too. Anju's wide grin slowly fades into dissatisfied confusion. She fixed her gaze on Kuon, seeing her walking calmly. And why are you here? I was just in the middle of an important discussion. Here you go, Oshtor, your tea. Oh, thank you. Take the keys up from the tray she's holding. Touch too hot. The tea's still quite fresh, a little too hot to drink. I reluctantly placed it on the side of my work, then looked to a bemused Anju. A short time before, I was getting her opinion on what medicines we might need for the future. I see. Anju nods, apparently satisfied enough from my answer. She just keeps staring at Kuon. Now you said you have prepared that scented soap, is that true? I've never smelled anything of its kind in the bathroom before, did I? Anju draws the question almost accusingly at Kuon, though the latter remains cold and unruffled. Really? Thanks. Thanks? Why do I have your thanks? Well, I made that. I'm happy if you enjoyed it that much, I think. What? Oh, so it was right after all. Anju seems thrown by Kuon's words. As she begins to understand, however, her expression shifts again to becoming conflicted. Given her rivalry with Kuon, she's probably not sure how to feel about accidentally complimenting her. Or something along those lines. What about you, Relute? Yes, it was lovely. I was just talking to Princess Anju. What a lovely aroma it is. Yes, that is correct. Oof. I'm glad. I was trying some new things, so it's a little vindicating to hear it went over well. Yes. Damn. Despite Anju's sour expression, all praise from her creation seemed to have put Kuon in a good mood. Yes, how about this? As if just remembering something, Kuon reaches in her rose, pulling out a small bottle out from her bosom. I'm pretty confident about this one too. With that, Kuon presents a small bottle to Anju. And what is this? Do we open this? Yep, that's right. They look concerned as they open the bottle and sniff deeply. But both Anju and Relute suddenly exhale in pleasant surprise. Oh. Seeing their expressions, Kuon's smile widens. What is that? A perfume. Out of everything I've made, it's my favorite, I think. I see, perfume. Seems a apothecary can make a great deal many things. Yeah. For the most part, we can make just about everything you need for everyday life. But then, you know how to create even more of these concoctions? Well, what else? Aside from medicine, there's incense, bug repellent, dyes, candles. Quite a repertoire. Especially if I'm traveling on my own, it's useful to be able to make things from materials around me at any given time. Dang, Kuon is efficient. Looks like there's no need for me to interfere in this conversation. Smiled to myself, vaguely listening in on the conversation between the girls. Well, it's nice that they're starting to open up to each other. While the trio absorbed in their talk, they looked for all the world like 3 good friends. What do you think? Do you like it? Well, it's not a bad scent. Princess Anju, you smell quite nice. Is that right? Anju smiles shyly, Lutia's words taking her a little off guard. Kuon notices her smile, then speaks. You liked it that much? I think you should have it. Really? But surely it would be wrong if I were the only one to receive it? Despite her fascination with the perfume, Anju presses the small bottle back, looking somewhat regretful. Then you can help me pick out a different perfume to suit Lutia as well. Anju blinks at the sudden request, eyes wide. Anju looks troubled. She's having a hard time answering, trying to come up with a proper response and failing. She's clearly interested, but she can't be honest about it. Something like that? Well, with a request like that, I suppose I have no choice. She looks a lot happier than she's trying to sound. Anju's attitude brings an unthinkable smile to my face. For me? I want to inconvenience you, Miss Kuon. Lutia glances bashfully between the other two, not being used to being the focus of the conversation. Come on, let's go. Kuon tugs up Lutia's arm. The other perfumes are all in my room, and I keep my other projects in there too, you see? What, there's more? Oh, I know. Why don't you come too, Oshtor? No, I'm afraid I must decline. What, Oshtor isn't coming? I want to end up bringing the mood down. Thank you for letting us stay, Mr. Oshtor. Let's go quickly. I cannot wait. No need to rush. Perfume's not going anywhere. I'm not rushing. Lutia smiles uncertainly, caught between the two in their strange back and forth. And just like that, the three of them leave the room in cheerful idle chatter. Hope this makes things a little more calm between those two. Awesome that I lift the teacup, practically forgotten the preceding fuss to my lips. Lukewarm. Oh, it's nice to see them all getting along. I'll load up. Let's see, what units do I have anyways? Oh, Kuon's not in yet. Yikes. Alright. Guess we gotta be patient. Good, there's the last of them. Set the document down. Documents down, sighing deeply. I figured attention would be high. While they're winding down, finished. Thank you for your hard work. We'll take that. At least it's done. This should suffice for today. Stretch every part of my body for a moment and try rotating my stiff shoulders. Without unintended groan, feeling myself loosen up slightly. Things have been even busier lately. Even when I manage to get something done, it feels like the paperwork never ends. Relax. Be at ease. We shall massage your shoulders. Indeed, I don't think I can refuse. My shoulders feel so heavy, I cannot bear it. Uru and Sarona nod without a word and move behind me, beginning to massage both my shoulders and my back with firm, persistent pressure. Tense. Your body is very stiff. How is the massage? Feels nice. Can't say I am tired, but my body does feel heavier. You push yourself. Master, you have a lot of exhaustion built up. Normal rest may not be enough to resolve this. Twins glance at each other, and after a moment, they now wordlessly confirming something. We must go. Please leave for a while. We will return soon. With their usual serene expressions, the twins leave the room. They stopped to massage so abruptly, I'm not sure what to make of it. Man, I was sleepy. Well, more like exhausted. Overcome with the sun's tiredness, I let out a yawn. It's been good. Maybe they're right, and I do have some exhaustion built up. I should talk to Kuon about it. She's found to know some kind of herb remedy for exhaustion. About midnight, stifling my yawns, I tread as quietly as I can through the hall. My steps are heavy. I wonder if she's still awake. Kuon, are you here? I apologize for coming so late. I have to say, it's rare to see you in my room. Hearing voices from within, I stop my hand just about as I'm about to lock. She's already got a visitor? Who'll be here at this time of night? So what's going on? Sarah? I don't know where they were going, but here? What do they want Kuon? We need your cooperation. We apologize for coming so late at night. We come with an urgent request. Urgent? Did something happen to Oshtor? No worries. No, our master is resting in his room. I'm glad he's fine. Well, what about your request then? That's you two. I'm sure it's gotta be okay to Oshtor somehow. We need this. We want what's written here. We believe you are in a position to prescribe this. Prescribe? You want medicine? That's fine, but let me take a look. Kuon takes the offered paper and unfolds it, examining the contents with a serious expression. Let's see. The Bakuri fruits, one Rolo Pak root. Yeah, I think I can prepare these pretty quickly. Please do. But this recipe is for a tonic. These herbs are meant to energize the body. What are you going to do with this medicine? We will have him drink. Our master is quite tired, so we want to help him regain some of his vigor. Lasting exhaustion. It seemed as though he was having difficulty today as well, so that's why we would like it quickly. I knew he was tired, but didn't think it was that bad. Kuon takes another look at the paper, tilting her head slightly. Troubled? What's wrong? Is the recipe incomplete? No, there's nothing wrong with this particular combination. But, didn't think you two knew much about herbology. Not much. We know only the theory. We lack the technique to actually create the medicine as you can. That's why we ask. All is for our master. That's why we must ask you for this favor. I see, for store. I understand. I advise you wait before giving him the medicine. The twins' only response is a silent questioning tilt of their heads. If he drinks the medicine, he'll certainly perk up quickly, but more worried about what happens after. The medicine this potent will certainly have after effects. It would be bad if he ended up collapsing when it wears off. So for this, why don't you try medicinal cooking? The effect is slower, but it's much easier for the body to absorb. Medicinal cooking, you say? If you space it across meals, his condition will improve gradually, and it should be a little less demanding on his body. I'm sure Rulutier will be glad to help you with Bast. I think this should be a safer option. What do you think? The two of them look at each other as though unifying their thoughts and shaking their heads. Too slow. That may ensure future recovery, but it will not resolve the matter immediately. Let's see, Hoshtor is that exhausted? Very tired. He's not truly aware of it. I mentioned his body's been feeling heavy. Well, if you're in such a rush, why don't you use some of the medicine I already have? Still expressionless, the twins shake their heads once more. Ours is best. We wish for you to prescribe that. It will have the best results for our master. Well, there's no other way. I suppose there's no point in arguing. Kuon reaches into her medicine box and pulls out the ingredients they've been looking for. Still, this seems a bit of an odd combination. I would think the Rolo Pak root might be a bit too strong. No problem. Here's why we have added the Bakuri fruit. Its nutrients will mitigate the power of the root. Since the fruit's dry, though, it might not have much of an effect. There are alternative ingredients. As she finished lining out the various medicines, Kuon takes a moment to examine them, pensive. No mistakes. This combination should produce a sufficient effect. Well, I think it should do the trick. It's a bit strange. But it doesn't seem like anything suspicious, I think. But I could swear I'd seen this recipe before. Kuon looks back down to the ingredients with a slight frown. The twins hastily press forward. Immediate request. Please, we would like it ready for our master to take before bed. Understood, I'll whip it up as soon as I can, so please be patient. We can help. If we can do anything to assist, tell us. Things start sounding a lot busier in the little room as three puzzle about getting to work. Looks like the twins are helping out. I'll just go back to my room then. Huh, rush job, eh? Excuse us? You've returned. Do you finish with your business? Finish quickly. We completed our task faster than we expected. Were you about to rest? You said you would return quickly. Thought it would be a shame if you came back to find me already asleep. Good timing. Please take this before you rest. Pass the bow forward. There does not seem to be much inside other than a pool of unfamiliar dark brown liquid. But that's the medicine they were worked up about. Kuon seemed reluctant, but it looks normal. No one smells or anything. Medicine to restore your energy. You look tired, though we prepared it for you. I rested a bit, but seems like exhaustion ran deeper than I thought. Appreciate it. I'll think about visiting Kuon to see if she had any medicine. A definite effect. Please drink. Once you do, we believe you will surely feel more relaxed. I shall do so gladly. With that, I drank the contents of the bowl. It's all I can fix some fish with, sticking to my throat on the way down. Tastes like a mixture of juices from all sorts of plants, a little bitter too. Can't say it's good, but it's not especially bad either. Tastes like you expect medicine to. We're confident in the taste. We made it easy to drink in hopes you will like it. Certainly does taste like medicine. One almost feels that a more bitter taste would indicate stronger effects. Compared to medicine Kuon's given me before, this is a lot easier to swallow. I actually finished the rest of the bowl, with the twins watching attentively all the while. Once finished, they presented a cup to me. Just one dose? But looking at this, it does not seem to be medicine. Palate cleanser. Strong spirits skinned with hot water, made from fruit. If you drink this before resting, it will combine with the medicine and help you sleep. Alcohol. Should I really be taking this with medicine? It will be fine. You will feel refreshed when you wake up. Your exhaustion, your pain, you will release them all. I see. Then I gladly accept this as well. Why did she say release them all? Smell a fragrant fruity banquet from the little cup. What a fine smell. Then... I pause, the cup halfway to my lips as I hear someone charging towards us. Stop right there! Kuon? I'm startled into stillness, seeing Kuon's fire expression as she barges in. Oh sure, did you already drink that? I was about to. The cup in your hand, that wouldn't be... Ah yes, there's some sort of fruit liquor that Ururu and Sarah had prepared for me. Don't drink that. What? As soon as the words are out of my mouth, Kuon snatches the cup from my hand. I have no idea how to react seeing her in such a state. I'm so glad. I made it just in time. Kuon hurriedly shuts the cup and exhales full in relief, seeing it still full. What is the matter, barging in here like that? Well... I rushed over here because there was a bit of a problem. With the medicine? I already drank it, but I still feel normal. What's that mixture I wasn't supposed to drink? No, the medicine's fine. It's just that when you take it with alcohol... Alcohol? But even then, I'm not sure what they'll be going for. Thought the ingredients were odd, but I didn't think you were planning this. You nearly had me, you two. I was almost too late. I do not understand. Can you explain, Kuon? If you want answers, ask the two of them. Kuon looks pointedly at the twins. Oh, come on. Was it another one of their schemes? Well, care to explain, you two? Don't understand. We do not understand. Can you explain to us in detail? Huh? We request an answer. Please answer. We see no problem with this procedure. Even after all this time, you're still so shameless? Even argue with the medicine is a general anesthetic. Despite Kuon's disgust, the twins do not budge. They stare curiously. Listen, Oshitor, this medicine, that liquor, they're fine on their own as a tonic and a drink, respectively. But the problem is, when you combine them, that medicine and the alcohol together, then the effects will... As Kuon tries to continue, she suddenly chokes on her words and falls silent. What happens when you drink them together? That... She climbs up quick. Something she can't say? Clarity. We cannot understand you if you're too quiet. Please tell us clearly. Please say it. There's much that we do not know. Please explain in your own words, Kuon. The two of you know perfectly well what it does. Oh. Oh no. It does not seem dangerous, but if you were so hesitant to say it, there must be something unusual about it? Fine. Kuon takes a deep breath with a determined expression on her face. I wouldn't worry too much about it. When this medicine is paired with a certain drink, it has a certain stimulating effect. The Ropak root has an especially stimulating effect, and that can last the entire night, so I thought I'd stop that. Stimulating. Yeah, stimulating. So I came to stop it, because I thought you might have trouble sleeping. Still unclear. Please tell us how it stimulates. We will deal with it depending on how. Why are you two so? It's stimulating in a sense of relating to the, libido. Oh. They wanted to catch Oshi horny, huh? Still don't understand. You use difficult words. Please make it easier to understand. Oh, it makes you want to do sexual things. Fluid things. Ah, so this is the framed aphrodisiac. So that means it's an aphrodisiac. Do you understand now? She blurts out as if to get it all out of her glaring between the twins. Ah, yes, I understand. But are you alright? But an aphrodisiac. Heard her talk about it before, but I guess this was what she was talking about. Anyway, the medicine itself is a tonic, so you shouldn't be fine if you don't drink the other component. I examined the ingredients myself, so you have a guarantee that it will work. Kuon certification. Certainly my body does feel lighter. And now as long as you rest up, your exhaustion shouldn't be a problem anymore. So rest up well tonight. You two understand? We understand what you're saying. We have achieved our goal, but some questions remain. You still have something to say? How did you know it was an aphrodisiac? The plot thickens. What? Kuon looked sharply to him, freezing in place. Normally, it wouldn't have been noticed. The medicine's properties as an aphrodisiac are not known by many. Ooh, what did you do, Kuon? Well, I'm a apothecary. So it's because I've been taught different properties of different herbs? After all, couldn't have someone suffer the wrong effects from an unexpected combination of ingredients? It's not as if I learned it out of my own personal curiosity. It's my responsibility as an apothecary to know. Good decision. Very diligent study. We have no rebuttal. Damn. Twins finally break their unflinching stare, nodding with satisfaction. What is it? Together. Huh? We'd rather handle this ourselves. Go on, horny on horny. But it seems we have no choice. Huh? What? Pleasurable? If our master will enjoy it, then we will even allow you to partake. Excuse? What? What are those two saying? We must decide order. You can be first. We do not mind going after. What do you mean, first? First for what? Call it out. Don't hold back. Seems you are more knowledgeable on the subject than us. Should you desire it, we were willing to allow you first opportunity. First and after. What are you two talking about? Last longer. We can accept going after you. After all, it will last longer if the deed's been done once already. Damn. Damn, dirty horny vixen. What are you talking about? Lasting longer? As much as you like. The effect is powerful. It will not fade after just once or twice. I feel like these negotiations should have happened before Oshtor found out what it was. Not now. What are you? Aru and Sarah speak with more and more enthusiasm when Kuon's voice seemed to get smaller with every response. They just keep saying what they want. This doesn't look good for Kuon. And all the while, they ignore the actual person they're talking about. Oh well, I'll just pretend I can't hear them. Yes, it will be more successful. I'm not in the mood to break this up. While they fuss around each other, I get up and make myself some tea. Ah, the tea is delicious. I feel less exhausted from already. The twins carry on, getting more and more excited with each concession. Please, no more. Kuon droops their shoulders, muttering meekly in self-defense. I give up. No more of this, please. Not finished. You are a comrade who shares our feelings. Let us all satisfy our master. Oi! That's enough. Just don't drink the liquor. That's all I came to say. In a desperate attempt to escape the twins, she bolts, running through the door she came through. You hear me? Don't drink it. Victory. We hit one, but victory is always so empty. Ah, the tea leaf. Art spelling bad luck in my future. Oh my gosh, that was just a scene. Oh shit. So soft, so squishy. Are they bullying Krillin? Ultimately. What is it, Neko? Is there something on your mind? What do you mean, something? May I ask why you're poking at my cheek? Nakane continues writing in the neat, elegant script as she speaks, focused on the papers. Well, it's soft, pet. Feels nice, that's all. As I'm sure you can see, I'm currently quite busy. Claim your cheek, pet. Too squishy to resist. How dare it be so soft? Excuse me, bud. Atui, that tickles. Stop. That tickles. Nekone can't help but reflexively smiling as she twists away from Atui's grasp. Atui smiles widely at her reaction. You finally smiled, Neko. I'm sure anybody would if forced to laugh if they were tickled that much. Well, I just haven't seen you smile recently. I was just a bit worried about you. If that's so... Nekone resumes writing at those words, her tone seemingly indifferent. Didn't you notice yourself? You've been looking so tense these days. But, ever since Kuon came back, you've been smiling a little bit more. That was lovely to see. Nekone's hand stops mid-brush stroke. Seemingly oblivious, Atui continues to poke at Nekone's cheek. Your cheeks are just as softest. Nekone's hand moves once more, finishing the halted character and continuing to write. You know, as much as I'm glad to see you smiling for Kuon, it's a bit discouraging. I suppose we just weren't enough to bring your smile back on our own. That's not... That's not true. The prodding stops. Really? Yes. Really, really? Yes, it is the truth. Atui beams and presumes, poking at Nekone's cheek. We do awfully like seeing you smile, Neko. Oh dear, Kurlin. Don't tell me you're jealous. Oh, I see. You wanna have a go at Nekone's cheek too. Good to see Nekone smile. It is. I prefer to not. Looks like you got rejected, Kurlin. Such is Krillin's life. I suppose that means I could have Neko all to myself. I'll make up for Krillin's share of pokes. Nekone, however, lets Atui do as she pleases. A little ticklish and a little embarrassed. I would appreciate it if you stopped now. Sorry, I'm just so happy. I can't help myself. Oh, I know. I'll go make myself useful and pour some tea for you. With that, Atui bounds up and scurries out of the room. That's not it at all. I was happy that you were all with me. I was so happy. Alone in the room, Nekone murmurs for nobody's ears but her own. Just twist that knife! Twist it! If you insist. Far be it from me to deny a direct request from Lord Raiko himself. Oh, I think I know what the scene is. Oh no, I'm not ready. Must say, it's rare to see the great Lord Raiko offer such praises of someone's abilities. Is he really so remarkable? I've had my eye on him for some time now. He will show his true potential, if properly guided. I see. It was his misfortune that he served an incompetent master, and so I freed him from their service. But for all your methods of persuasion, you still find he refuses you, Sharp ears, yes, he's exhibited surprising obstinance. And so you needed my research. To doubly ensure success, yes? I understand. I'm afraid I do not have the means right now. May I have some time to prepare? I cannot wait long. What do you ask me will require constant maintenance. I will send one of my boys to keep an eye on the subject. I will do what I can, but I promise no guarantee of stability. In the worst case, I am well aware of the consequences, thank you, and they do not concern me. The more powerful pawns I have on the board, the better. That is all. The rest I leave to you. Pawn, is it? How sad. Oh. Okay, so we don't have to see it just yet. So, what is our next move? I stare over the map thread in front of me, trying to devise some kind of plan. This betrayal. We can't just stay cooped up in Enma Kamui like this forever. My initial plan was to build a strength back up within Enma Kamui, then reach out to other countries with their support. The old right cool scheme in place, that's all gone up in smoke. Thanks to a score, we managed to pull through, but we can't last much longer in isolation. But we have Kuon back now. Princess is back to her old self. Their soldiers' morale is high. This might be our only chance to make our move. If I can use that, it will be enough of a foothold for us to break the cockade. Not much else we could do, I think. Kuon hands me a fresh cup of tea as she speaks. Oh, thank you. Set the cup, shifting the map so Kuon can see it as well. First, we shall advance our main forces to here. My finger descends on a point between Enma Kamui and the Imperial capital. The Mui Pass, that's practically Enma Kamui's lifeline, isn't it? Yes, a key passage for trade with Yamato, and an essential point for Enma Kamui. All the checkpoints are controlled by the Imperial capital or other lands, but we kept hold of Rumori Pass by stationing some troops there. The merchant's delegation of Toothcore passed through this location to reach us. If we lose control, we lose our support. We'll be helpless. Indeed, if we want to launch an attack, we cannot afford to lose this pass. I'll line a large circle with my finger as if to surround Rumori Pass. And so, I intend to set up a new encampment here to house Enma main forces. We'll bolster the checkpoint and build strongholds nearby. Once we establish a safe headquarters and taking control of the pass, our liege will lead Enma Kamui's forces and march into other nations. With a grand armed guarder, we can protect our liege while she travels to seek audience with other land owls. As long as we manage that, the other owls will soon learn that we have the true Mikado on our side, whether they approve of her or not. In the face of their rightful ruler, neutrality will no longer be an option. They will have no choice but to join our cause. And us. Jack my finger slowly from Maroon Pass to the Imperial capital. When the time is right, our liege shall lead our army to the Imperial capital. We shall show the world whose cause is truly just. That said, these are only idle imaginings as of now. After all, if everything always went according to plan, we wouldn't be in this position. First, we must put ourselves in the group races of nearby countries, so we may have enough support to break the blockade. I'm afraid that might be currently impossible. Ogi slowly replies, suddenly appearing from nowhere. Okay, has something happened? The very fact that Ogi's here, Ogi rather than one of his scouts or agents, is a clear sign that something's gone very wrong. We have lost contact with Rumori Pass. It's possible they are currently under attack, or perhaps worse. That's a crucial strategic point for us. We fortify its defenses. We station our elites there. It's all we could do to ensure its safety. Is that not correct? Indeed, I also consider it nigh impenetrable, and yet the Rumori Pass was taken without my soldiers even having a chance to report. More than half a day has passed since we lost contact. I suppose it's more than likely. No one man capable of this. Indeed, I think we all know who's responsible. Right, cool. Damn it, one step ahead of us again. I clench my teeth. The feeling of powerlessness is infuriating. What will you have us do? At last I look up from the map, and then slap my hand down as I rise. We leave at once for Rumori Pass. Till we know our forces have fallen, we will not abandon them. Oh boy. Oh, when you set out without a moment's hesitation? An amused voice echoes from within the dim room. Raiko, having just heard the report from his Teriyori, rocks a game piece in its place on the board deep in thought. What a feat preparing his main forces so quickly. So he had an army at the ready then. It's moving quicker than my projections. Planning to rally other nations before I can act, Seems I can't afford to underestimate you, Oshtor. But now I've sealed your next play. How will you react, Oshtor? How far ahead can you read your opponent's moves? Raiko moves a piece of course to board slowly, thoughtfully. Its smirk widens. Just one wrong read, one desperate error, and the game will end in your destruction. How much entertainment can you provide for me? Let us see. So that is a Rumori Pass. We scope out the area from afar so not to be discovered by the enemy. What is this? Why does something feel very wrong here? I don't see any of our soldiers. Odd indeed, no sign of any enemies nearby either. What does that mean? Where are all the enemy troops? It's too quiet, like they gave up the battle on halfway through. Can't seem to find any Imperial encampment in the area either. Seems like they positioned themselves at a more distant location. Wonder what happened in the battle. I didn't expect the gates to be left open if they were just under siege. This is all so eerie. Oh, it says somebody's waiting for us. Could it be an empty fort strategy to lure us into a bottleneck of the checkpoint's entrance, then strike when our formation's broken? Or perhaps they intend to flank us while we're confused and deliberating on our next move. Either way, the key to countering their strategy will be to figure out where an ambush will come from. Oh, expecting an ambush then. An obvious risk, I suppose. How reassuring. I would have hardly have wasted such effort on an incompetent general. Raiko smirks remains, apparently satisfied by the Terrieri's report. But whether it's a trap or not, you have no choice but to walk in. After all, you have to find out what happened to the defenders, don't you? That wit, that courage to walk the right path. That is why you'll fall to my stratagem. Raiko snaps his fingers and Shichiori, or Shichiya, glides forth from the shadows. Your command? Uchiya, yeah. It is time for the feast to begin anew, though admittedly the sighting question makes for a poor banquet hall. Understood. I shall have them immediately resume. Shichiya gives a bow, and immediately disappears from sight. Raiko now alone, throws another piece carelessly onto the game board. Rest assured, Oshtor. I have no intent to launch the kind of ambush you're imagining. No. That will be far too dull. No, my strategy is fluid, formless, and always beyond your grasp. Shortly, Raiko receives word that the operation has commenced. A small smile of satisfaction spreads across his face. What's the matter, Oshtor? We come all this way. Why are you hesitating now? Ambush or not? If we haven't seen any sign of them yet, then surely it's a sign they must be at least outnumbered. With our power and your expert command, we should crush our enemies with no problem. Hey, Oshtor, can I scout ahead? Mind if I take the vanguard? Give him a taste of the old spearhead? Come on, just a little bit, just a tip. Excuse? No, you must wait. I need to observe the situation on just a moment longer. Now's the best time, the spooky feeling in the air. It's getting me all tingly. I just can't stand it anymore. She's right. There's something in the air. It's sending a chill down my spine. But we have to move forward. Honestly, these two. If they picked up on there's something bad in there, can't they just stay put? Yes, it's clear something is not right here, I think. Dear brother, what should we do? It's plain to see that this is some kind of trap. And more than that, the enemy is definitely aware that we know it. After all, we're dealing with Raiko, like No3 said. It doesn't look as if there's any great force lurking nearby, but something's here. I don't know what, but I can feel it. Which means it isn't just some conventional ambush. He's gotten something none of us would expect. I have to steel myself. I didn't come my way to abandon the soldiers we left defending this place. Please wait. It's too dangerous. You must come back. It matters not. There's no such thing as a safe battlefield. You must stop, Princess Anju. My liege? Oh, it is our liege. The soldiers began to murmur amongst themselves. Did I keep you waiting, Oshtor? My liege, what are you doing all the way here? I thought you would be on the back lines of Verlutier. Have you come all this way just to raise morale? What are you talking about? I came here so I may fight alongside all of you. The hubbub of soldiers spreads even further. What are you saying? I've heard that the battle is drawing near. If my beloved people are to go into battle, how can I merely sit back and watch them from afar? Did you not say it yourself? That I must not avert my eyes from this war? I must not run from it? Then whatever may come, I must see it through to the end. And so, I shall go as well. Indeed, what good is there in me hiding away? My liege. I'm so sorry. I was... But if anything were to happen to you, Your Highness, if you need not worry about me, for I fight alongside so many skilled warriors. The commotion among the soldiers raised it to a new high as they stooped, bow their heads, and kneel. Oshtor, I think this has gone past the point where you'll be able to stop her. The Mikado's voice is the voice of the heaven itself. Her words are absolute. It can never be taken back. I'm sorry, Oshtor. I can no longer sit idly by. You must promise me one thing, no matter what, you are not to act on your own. Of course. With you by my side, that will not be an issue. Everyone, will you be my sword and fight at my side? Yeah. Look at her becoming a leader. Huh. So it begins. Certainly seems so. And Makui begins their advance from the front. Their numbers are great. Predictable as ever. So you chose the straight and narrow path? The most trodden of paths? But you refused to take any measures necessary. If your tactics came from your mind rather than your heart, oh, how you could thrill me. Well, shit, this sounds like a trap, bub. Oh no. Is that all of Oshito's elites? We were too late. I am so sorry. Everyone, why? Not like this. Not in this place. We all promised, didn't we? Why? Damn. Spent all this time trying to save him, and then, what cruelty. They will pay. All the soldiers stationed here? But this is just... What's going on? The bodies here are the soldiers of Enao Kamui. I don't see a single Imperial uniform. And isn't this? These don't look like injuries from armed combat, either. It's almost as if... Yes, there can be little doubt. These wounds were not inflicted from man-made weapons. These soldiers were eaten alive by something with big damn mouth at that. Monster with this kind of power? Think I'm starting to get a picture, yeah? Scouting, warning, something approaches. Shit, it's a Guanji, isn't it? Yeah, got a big one on the line. Ah, it was the big boy. Oh, Guanji. Shit. Yeah, these roads are slowing me down. Anju has joined the party. This should do. I will join your ranks as a soldier. We must avenge our fallen comrades. Whoa, that guy's huge. Awesome. That's our culprit, yeah? You don't think that's the same scaly bastard from when we fought the Kampampo? How could the same Guanji be here? They managed to lure it all the way here? No, that'll be too convenient. No, maybe. Even since then, the one pulling the strings was... Even Kampampo being eaten by the Guanji, all of it was you. You did this, Raiko! That thing, responsible for killing everyone. Don't have time to dwell on this right now. Here it comes. We slay it here and now. Great, we gotta fight that again. Shit. But at least we have Kuon and Anju this time. Let's give them some equipment too, though. Because, woof. Alright, 3 slots, huh? Alright, let's give her defense. Why not? Let's give her, I don't know. A little bit more defense, and let's see. Nature's Harmony or Dire Awakening? Let's see. Nature's Harmony seems about right. Anju. Anju is here. She busted. Look at her attack stat. Goddamn 51. But that means that she, more than anybody else, will need escaping death. Anju Kuril out thick. She got Kuril out sword too. Oof, now she won't be able to survive. Ooh, okay, how am I gonna do this? Do I give her a dodge then, or just straight up blocking? Straight up blocking, I guess. Oshtor, naturally, as is the star. And this one will be a Kiru match to revenge his men. Nekone, because Nekone is always good. Aru Sarana, because they're always good. So now we only have one person left to bring with us. Ooh, this is gonna feel a little light. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna need a straight up tank. This is gonna be rough without a straight up tank. Alright, there's gonna be a interesting one. 2 arms. Oshtor, you told me. She quick. That I must not run from this war. Therefore, I will go with you. Well, no. If I do not fight for my people, who will? 117 speed. Oh, that's because her fire element is activated. Because of the Guanji, perhaps? Oh, the blood. Okay. Alright, we gotta position her pretty well then. Can't let her get hit. May not be much help, but I'll do what I can. Kuon, I'm counting on you. You can leave it to me, I think. Oof. Oh, it's summoning. It can summon monkeys. Yeah. What the? I thought I was trying to curse them, but it didn't work. Shit. No. And on the field for part 2, huh? Alright. Guess I'll have to attack then. Alright, fire field activated. Ooh, this one's just as tough as the last one. Shit. Alright. Nekone defense. Aww. Kokopo, can you do this? Kokopo time! The beast of war has come! I am Oshtor. My liege, make me one promise. No matter what, do not fight it alone. Of course, I have you by my side. Why are Kimamau by its side? Maybe they just get along really well? Alright, time for... Ah, shit. Counter, huh? Alright, fine. That's that knockback. Alright, it's going after the taunt. Dodge the first attack. Dodge! You think you could range Kokopo? You fool! Fire! And now, Fate Shift! She can change elements. Based on whatever attacks you use, she can change to different elements. Giving her the ability to defend against anything. Alright. Ah, no counter. She hits hard. Very, very hard. Come on, I need the power of friendship, please. The feeling is the same, Guanji. Alright, let's taunt it again, then. Ah, didn't work. Well, matters little. Brother, that thing killed everyone. Crew, calm down. If you lose your cool, you're as good as dead. Ugh, I'm sorry. We'll stop it here. Let's go. $100. Water's favorite. Dodge. I could change the wind element, or I can stick with fire. And now, fire's favor. You can leave it to me, I think. We're wearing it down. Oh shit. What? Another one? This might be difficult, I think. Oh, come on, enough of the nasty surprises. Nekone, take Relute and fall back. Understood. Relute, hurry. You must come with me. Right. I'm alright. Thank you, Kokopo. One alone is giving us enough trouble. How do we contend with two? Well, we just gotta fight. We got this. This isn't gonna end well. Kiru, Ogi, we fall back and regroup. Yes, sir. Allow me to serve as the rear guard then. Please organize the retreat. Kuon, can I ask for your assistance? Yes, of course. Anything you need. Wait, you have turned my back on the enemy? On the monster responsible for killing my people? My liege, there is no longer a matter of war. If we fight them head on, our casualties will be too much to bear. I must have mend them. I must! If I flee now, how can I face all those who have fallen here? Don't you realize that's precisely what the enemy wants us to do? It's like a cage all around us. Even our own emotions are being manipulated against us to ensure that we will die here. What? I feel it too. I feel that rage burning in me. Yet we must swallow our pride and fall back to fight another day. If you ain't beating a Guanji, if we do that, one day we will have our revenge. I'm sorry, I lost my composure. You are right. We have no choice but to retreat. I thank you for your wise decision, my liege. We will cut through. Kuon, are you prepared? Ready when you are. Let us... Master, we detect someone. Someone approaches our location, now armed for combat, possibly a merchant caravan. What? Kuon, hold. I need you to wait. They move at a steady pace. It does not seem as though they have noticed the fighting. What the hell? You gotta be kidding me. Brother, what are we going to do? Damn it, of all times now? Is this another trap to keep us here? We have to bend. No, there's no way she'll allow that. Halt the retreat. Alterate Jack Welch. Destruct the enemy to buy some time. Oh boy, looks like I don't have much of a choice, yeah? That's... a 2-score horse. Not good, they know it's the caravan, huh? I'm here for seconds, come on! Damn it, what the hell are they? Run! What? Something knocked it back? Wait, isn't that... What the fuck? Fumio decided to go on a trip! It has been quite a while, Lord Oshitor, since we last spoke at the capital. Munichika! Miss Munichika? Munechika, you returned the Yamato! Apologize if I gave you cause to worry. As you can see, I am safe and sound. Though I must say, it is unlike you, being bested by mere beasts. Well, this is... Munechika, thank goodness you are safe. Your Highness, why are you dressed like that? And what are you doing in such a place? You've missed so much. I hardly know where to begin. Save the catching up for later, I think. First, we need to take care of these things. They're still so perky. Look at that one raring to go. Just as I thought, my strike lacked the power I'm used to. If only I had my Akuruka, I would have crushed it while I was stunned. You are able to fight then? You need not worry. I may have lost my Akuruka, but my skills have not grown rusty yet. Your Highness, I ask you remain patient for a little while longer. Defeat all enemies. Well, this one's halfway dead anyways. Your Highness, you're here? And in such attire? What's happened? Where do I start? Let's talk later. We'll have to deal with this first. Alright, first of all, even though it's tempting to have Munechika try to solo, she is tank. Good speed, 55 defense, 400 HP. Compared to Aru, has almost anemic HP. Like, my god. Not that it's their fault. They're not built for high defense. But they do bring in the hurt. Okay, I'm gonna defend Anju, crying out loud. Damn. Art of Revenge! Fire is favor. I shall break everything in my way. Dang, counter? Shit. Go, don't push yourself too hard. Alright. One step back. Ah, jeez. Yeah. Your Highness, I ask for your patience. I shall end this shortly. Yeah, no, regroup first. They'll take care of this Kawanji, and they'll work their way to you. $102. Level up. Level up. Level up. Two of them. Can't say I expected this. But taunted. Nice. Making Kiru get vengeance. The only way he knows how. Master, we sense something sinister from it. Yes, I can feel it too. Okay, 68? 55, 55, huh? Alright. Moon's favorite, those who oppose Master, shall be eliminated. Alright, this one's nearly dead. Oh god. Kuripon's dead. Kuripon did well. Wind's favor, huh? Couple, let's go. Ah. Boom!
よこそヤマトの帝たる天使アンジュなるぞ。これでどうじゃ。これね。どう？一撃。
Die!
まだ立てる？
Nice!
小生の名により。
Been a while, though. Oh, sure. There's no one to worry. I need no Arutuka to display my strength. On guard.
マイル。
視力を尽くそうぞ。そこで眠っていろ。
慎重に行くです。うまくできたですか。
Dang, me and Chica's just taking a beating.
行きます。皆様、無理をなさらずに。ごちそう。理解したくないですから。無茶はダメですよ。お任せください。
Can't quite reach. So, alright. Let's just get into healing range then. Moon and Chica's about to get bopped. Still, it is most like unlike you. How are you having trouble with this? Well. Taunt or remove buff, huh? Taunt this.
小生の覚悟堪能してもらう。勝利のために。この薬草で痛みは抜けた。
Aren't you? You are too far ahead. I'm not acting beyond my rules. I made a promise to Oshtor. Oh, come on. That wasn't that fast. Hold up. Dang, if I don't hit the crit, shit. Hold up. There we go. Dash, that was good. I won't let you stop there, brother. Yeah, close enough. 4 HP. Please show me your wounds, Lady Moonchica. Lady Nakame, I'm in your debt. Oh. Rock Rider. Oh. Reversal of Fate. absolutely busted.
さあ行くぞ。知らせ。これでどうだ。これがそれがしの覚悟だ。
落ち着いて。抜けない。
邪魔させない。敵を排除します。
Attack, attack.
問題ない。まだいけ
な
ま
る
す。
族とども
Okay.
覚悟せい。
Gotta really have killed Kuon like a chance.
これでどうじゃ。勝利のために。
Finally back now.
へえ。
Can't afford to stop here.
無理は現金かな。
Alright, Sarah, I'm here to help.
小生の領域である。押してまいる。安らかに行くがよい。小生の覚悟堪能してもらえたか。
Oh, is she gonna survive this? Ooh. Please, Nikonai.
絶対に
Make it time.
突っ込み強くなったのです。はいです。
Dear sister, let me heal you.
うんうん。
Thank you, that's a big help.
ハク様。これで。無茶しすぎないでね。
慎重に行かないと。当たれ。やったかな。
ウコグエ大将を押しとる。参る。逃しはせ。蹴散らせ。これでどうだ。熱せよ。
よこそヤマトの帝たる天使アンジュなるぞ。
They're slowly whittling this thing down.
行かぬのじゃ。
Oof.
私に続いて。
And rampage ends here.
逃がさない。はあ、いい運動だね。もう褒めてもらえないんですよね。ココポ大丈夫？邪魔させない。敵を排除し
Master,
ます。
please leave this to us.
消え去って。主様のために。すべてを背負わせたりしないのです。
Man, how cramped.
無茶をしないでほしいの
守り抜
です。
く。それが小生に与えられた使命。願わくばこの拳。覚悟は良いか。
Our favors just cause force, and force I shall use.
参る。
Okay, slowly but surely whittling around.
これより先進むことを禁じる。なれど。お付き合いいただこう。
Art of revenge.
敵の方。これより先進むことを禁じる。悪ルカがなくとも小生は発注賞なのだ。
Snipe. Damn.
気は抜けない。
全軍抜刀。 逃しはせ。
Taunted.
これがそれがしの
いざ出
覚悟だ。
陣じゃ。
Come on. Why is this so bulky?
皆さんの
VO reduction, huh? Alright.
目が回ります。勝利のために。こんなとこかな。そこ。まだまだ。押し通せ。
Wow, I completely missed it.
これで一撃。
There we go.
いい運動。
Fire Saber and
まだまだ。まだ立てる。
oh, so many more doggles, huh? Yeah.
やってくれる。
押してまいる。お覚悟よ。
全てを背負わせたりしないのです。突っ込みすぎなので覚悟観念してください。どうぞ。くすかみに
Slowly but surely. Come on. Another level up. Another level up.
皆の者、決して死んではならぬぞ。これでどうじゃ。
メッセ悪くな
Level up. Rejuvenate. Okay.
い。よし。
I shall turn the tide of battle.
まだ終わらない。これがそれがしの覚悟だ。
この距離なら。これで。もっと強くならないと。
皆さんのお役に。ありがとう、パパ。
やってくれる。
私に続いて。
33, huh? Oh, right. Hold up. Let's see. Turn order. Turn order. Where is that? Here we are. Why wouldn't I want this? There we go.
守り抜く。それが小生に与えられた使命なればよい。
Punch! Punch!
願わくばこの拳。
全てを背負わせ
無
たりし
益でな
ないいのです。
ことを祈らぬ。
絶望不機嫌。無茶をしないでほしいのです。
Lady Boutte, do you have any injuries? I'm alright. Just treat Kokofo. Oh.
なんだと。
ウコグエ大将を押しとる。参る。ふん。まだ終わらない。これがそれがしの覚悟だ。
世と共に戦ってくれ。
覚悟観念してください。
Finish it, Kokopo. Finish. Done. Level up. We confirmed the death of 2 Guanjis. With the conclusion of the operation, I ordered the nearby Imperial forces to retreat. Well, that certainly passed the time. Not a bad performance at all. Seems though like everything went almost cheerfully according to plan. The intervention from Tisco, however, that truly stole the show. We know ML Korea and Tisco had made contact, but we could not have predicted this. Interesting too that Munechika has returned to the stage. You certainly are full of surprises, Oshtor. Alright, are you sure of retreating now? We'll be giving our chance for an attack on Enma Kamui. It matters little. Rumori Pass has fallen, and the soldiers charged with defense have been wiped out to Enma Kamui. This is grave news indeed. Your intentions are beyond one of my meager intellect. If I may, could I ask the meaning behind your plans? Oshtor must surely realize by now. I am capable of retaking Rumori Pass whenever I please. I believe I understand. Their aim was simply to halt Enma Kamui's momentum. They've lost the opportunity for a large-scale expedition. If Enma Kamui does not dedicate a large enough force to defend Rumori Pass, they will lose it. They can't afford an offensive without risking their home. Oshtor has lost many tactical options, as the road to the capital has grown much longer. And so our festivities grow to a close, Oshtor, and you have no choice but to return to Enma Kamui to arrive and suffer alone. Damn. One step forward, one step back, it seems. Stand up. We cannot afford to lose this battle. Your ammunitions are gone. It's too early to fall just yet. Here I go. Heave-ho! You see, I can accomplish this by myself. Unite defense. Self and allies when within range. 30% chance of triggering. Ooh, wouldn't stand up in a line like that if I were you. I'm gonna end up cutting you all up, yeah? Wait, what kind of attack is this? Is it this counter? Art of Revenge 2. Anti-Daze. Dodging +1. Not enough points yet for anybody, eh? Oh well. I can at least make sure she gets equipment. Alright, let's see. What is she made of? Shoot, I guess. Reduce magic damage, I guess? Active metabolism. Your Highness, are you unhurt? Overjoyed, Anju clings to Munechika as she buries her face in the woman's robe. Sobbing, she calls her name. Munechika, why did you not send word that you were safe? I was so worried about you. Your Highness, I am sorry. I am glad to see you again. I figured you'd be alive and kicking somewhere, Munechika. Having Munechika back is as good as having 100 more soldiers at our side. Everyone crowd around Munechika and Anju as we rejoice. More now. It's only fitting that our master have more to attend to his needs. Excuse? Not really sure if that's supposed to be a welcoming, but I'll ignore it for now. We have succeeded in reclaiming Rumori Pass. Doesn't seem like the Imperial Army has any follow-up planned. Guess they retreated once they saw we had the upper hand. It's a little surprising they retreated so fast, even still. Something this elaborate must have taken a lot of effort to set up, and yet, the threat of an Imperial attack is over, then I have other duties to attend to. We must not waste this chance. We shall seize full control of Utawarerumono Pass. We shall increase the number of stationed troops threefold. On such path, we shall leave half of Emakui's forces. Also against Reiko, even that much doesn't seem like enough. I suppose I could forget about having ideas of having a soldier's company. So that's it. There's what Reiko wanted from the start. We received aid from Tisco, prayed for our lady's recovery, and just as we were ready to leave Enma Kamui, we delivered another crushing strategic blow, leaving us paralyzed. Just one pass falling to the enemy, and Nakui's fighting force has been divided by half. These numbers, it'll be possible for us to mount any head-on offensive. Once again, we're left cowering in our corner, terrified of the enemy.
どうされました、兄上。
Is something wrong matter, brother? You stopped mid-command. Not to worry, it's nothing. I was merely troubled by ill wind for a moment. Shake my head, I need to clear my mind. There's no point brooding over it now. All I can do to move forward is in the ways I know how. We must reclaim Rimori Pass. We will reinforce its defenses even further, so that we will not lose it again. Yes, sir. We will now begin securing Rimori Pass. Third squad to me.
第3隊続け。
Kiryu took charge, tending down the batteries with some soldiers. I watched him go, then turned to Munichika. I'm glad to see you safe. I'm worried we lost you after you stayed behind as the rear guard back in Tuscore. Yes, I owe you both thanks and an apology. I was unable to leave Tuscore for a while, and,
あの時
back in Tuscore? You were not part of that war effort, were you? I had heard what happened from Haku. Crap, I wasn't thinking. Can't just talk to her like I would normally. Guess I'll let my guard down.
そうであった。
Of course, yes, after I secured the escape of Lord Haku, I was taken captive.
すぐに捕らえられ、旅
But someone of high standing ensured I was treated well there. I only stand here before you now because I have accepted the duty as this noble's personal guard. As I listen to Mugichika talk, I quickly regain my composure as Oshtor.
だがなぜ
Well, what exactly are you and your highness doing in such a place? I heard our liege has passed, but... Well, that is... Hard Heavy explained everything that's happened since she left us. The Makeda's death, the attempt on Anju's life, in the Imperial capital, and our flight to Enmakamui. On our way to Enmakamui, we lost Haku, but somehow managed to keep our liege safe until we arrived. So,
白で
Haku was dead then. Yes, he was caught in the battle between Virai and I. I see. That is a grave loss indeed.
そうじゃ
It truly is. Anju's grip on Munichika's robes tightens, and it seems like she's trying to keep herself from shivering. Upon hearing the whole story, Munichika looks to Anju, her expression pained.
ともかく
Even so, I'm glad to have you back, Munichika.
胸つか
Munichika steps back from Anju and immediately kneels to the ground.
いえ
I'm sorry, but I, Munichika.
どうしたのじゃ
What is it? As the two of them speak, a procession pulls along the checkpoint.
これはまた
Well, this is quite... At a glance, I'm struck by how lavish it all is.
しかし
Wait, I've seen something like this before.
これは
Yeah, it's the same as the one the Tuscore princess arrived in. Don't tell me.
これは
Is this a carriage from Tuscore as well?
あれって
That's... But why?
どうして
ん
まさか
Does that mean...
うん
No, it can't be, I
そんなはずない
think.
かな
There's no way.
こんなところに
Oh no. As Kuon mumbles to herself, the entrance to the gorgeous carriage opens and walks a stunningly beautiful woman. Whoa.
兄上
Brother, the promoter is... Oh, she's so beautiful. Beautiful. Ew, whoever this is, she's smoking hot, yeah? Wow, so pretty.
人だね
Her appearance draws a gasp of awe from us. Can't help it, confronted with a woman of her beauty. Kiru seems struck speechless.
やっ
I knew it, Fumaril.
ぱフミリル
Kuon, however, seems to have a troubled expression as she mutters to herself. Hearing Kuon's voice, the woman looks to us.
グーちゃん
Ku?
クーちゃん
Ku-chan.
ということ
So she's definitely from Tuscore. Oh, it is you! Ku! Despite the mystic air about her, she beams at the sight of Ku and starts prancing in our direction. Boing. Oh no, and she runs. A distinct bouncing occurs, and her gaze and the onlookers are drawn up and down. Left eye. The Nekonea. Well, you misunderstand. Kira eventually notices Nekonea's cold gaze and hastily tries to explain himself. What? Huh? Wait? Kuon's expression freezes as she sees the woman coming close to her and then backs up several steps. Ku! Oblivious to the surrounding gazes, the woman called Fumariel pulls Kuon in a close embrace, as if comforting a younger sibling. Honestly, I'd like to know what you're doing here, I think. More than obvious, I'm here to take care of you. Take care of her? What? Hold it! Kuon quickly covers Fumio's mouth and shovels a little further from the group, whispering frantically into the woman's ear. Oh, you want me to keep it a secret? Shh, I told Osaka to be quiet. Understood. So we must keep your identity a secret. No one must ever know. You see, oh, that sounds like fun. Oh, they're trying to be awfully secretive about this. Can't really catch what they're saying. Kuon looks dead serious, while Fumio still looks pretty nonchalant, but it's fair to assume the two must be close. Looks like they know each other pretty well. As I ponder the situation, I realize they finished their little talk. Kuon turns back to us, looking exhausted already. It is a pleasure to meet you, Sir Oshtor. My name is Fumariel, and I come from Tuscore. I'm the single daughter of a crepe merchant. How many crepe merchants can there be in this world? I was on a sightseeing trip, and I just happened to reunite with Ku. This sightseeing trip is a pretty familiar story too. My household is very wealthy, and I've been friends with Ku ever since we were both little. I'm like a sister to her. And top off, she just outright says she's loaded. God, I don't even know where to start. Glances at Kuon and sees she's making a face like she just swallowed a swarm of bugs. So, well, I never thought of it until now, but once the question arose, now I can't stop wondering what they say. May I ask you just one question? Of course. Exactly what does a crepe merchant sell in their business? Excuse me? Kuon makes a series of increasingly desperate noises, waving her arms furiously. Well, naturally, a crepe merchant would sell... Crates of apples? Crates of apes. And she's saying they got rich off this? I have so many more questions now. Whatever the case, the fact that Kuon's so close with some wealthy girl must mean her own family's pretty well off too. I mean, otherwise this all makes even less sense. Also, my thoughts, I hear Munechika speak up. This is my benefactor. She ensured I was treated well in Tuscore. She took care of you? As I try to find clarification, Fumio begins to speak. Sir Oshtor, I presume the person there must be Lady Anju. If I may, I would like to formally introduce myself to her. A moment, please. With a brief bow, I move to act in the Mary for Anju, who's been listening this whole time. I am the successor to the title of Mikado, and the rightful ruler of Yamato, the divine Scion, Anju. My name is Fumariel. It's truly an honor to have an opportunity for such an audience. Fumariel responds with a serene formality, as if she were expecting this. Seems like she's accustomed to this kind of introduction. She used to be in the presence of nobility? Or maybe she got nerves of steel. Fumariel, is it? You're Kuon's friend? Then that's as good as a friend of mine. You need not be so formal. Thank you very much. Listen to that, Ku, you've gotten so popular. Not sure if I should be happy to hear that from you, I think. First, allow me to give you my thanks. Your thanks? I've heard from Munechika it's in your debt. I'm grateful for all you've done. Oh, not at all. I can only thank you for taking such good care of Ku. Fumio smiles pleasantly, as it is all just small talk. Munechika's face remains stony and static as ever. Your Highness, the circumstances demand I speak. And why is all this sudden formality? I remember a prisoner of war, and therefore unable to return to your side, Your Highness. What? Anju seems taken aback, though Fumio continues smiling peacefully.
この方は
This noble woman took me in while I was a mere captive, without regard for her reputation,
自らの
and allowed me by her side.
義には義を
It is a
尽くすが
Monofu's code to repay honor for honor.
何
I ask for your understanding.
そうであっ
So
た
that's how it must be. And a cheerful voice rings out as if to dispel the heavy atmosphere.
そのこと
Oh, was that all? You needn't worry.
胸近
From here on, Musumu Chika is free.
フミリル
I beg your pardon, Lady Fumariel?
胸近さ
You are free to go now, Miss Munichika. Do as you please.
好きにしてください
いや
But that would be...
いえいえ
Oh, not to worry. That was my intention from the beginning.
いや
No, that's not what I mean. The code of the Mononofu dictates...
いえいえ
You needn't worry. After all, you already done so much for me.
しかしながら
However... Munichika seems caught entirely off guard.
しかし少佐
However, you asked me to be your guide to Enma Kamui,
その
a duty which is no longer necessary.
それは
And what exactly does that
どういう意
mean?
味かなくーちゃんに
I can have Kook on me whenever I want, wherever I want now.
あ
Confronted with Fumariel's delayed smile, Kuon furrows her brow. This woman manages to make an enemy general her attendant, then gives her up like it's nothing. Even if she's some wealthy heiress, it's clear she's no pushover.
姫殿
Your Highness. As I think to myself, Munichika bows again before Anju. As unworthy as I may be, I, Munichika, now return to your side. Shames me to admit my abilities were not enough to win victory. I was taken prisoner, and the Akuruka bestowed upon me was taken away. I will accept any punishment you deem worthy.
する所存です
Munichika keeps her head bowed, faithfully awaiting the answer of her liege.
よいか
Listen well, Munichika.
そなたは
All I ask for you is to
どれだけ
remain by my
でよい
side. At that, I think I see something glisten in Munichika's eyes.
この胸近
I, Munichika, of the 8 pillared generals,
けて姫殿下を
hereby swear that I will protect you with my life, your highness.
聖書
No,
をお守りいたします
my liege.
うん
Indeed.
そなたの
Does
心
me
意気
good to see you in high spirits once
今
more.
嬉しく思うのじゃ
Munichika the Guardian. Even if she lost her Akuruka, the fact that Munichika, one of the 8 pillar generals, has joined our cause helps our prospects immensely. And after seeing a grand display of loyalty, the only thing I could think of is logistics. With a wry smile, I realize how calculating being about all this we should be celebrating. At the very least, this should make the burden on everybody else a little lighter.
このようなと
While
ころ
there
で
is no
立ち
conversation
話
for a
がなんじゃ
battlefield,
な
let us continue to our heart's content while on the road back to Enna Kamui.
恐れながら
I'm afraid I cannot allow that.
なぜじゃ
Why not?
今回は
Not only must we welcome the Tusco caravan, the return of Lady Muchika to our celebration.
形を取ります
A grand ceremony will only be appropriate.
ルモイの責任
Atrocities committed by the Imperial Army in Rimuru Pass, and the Emakuri army falling to their devious trap,
正常の危機
and Lady Munishika's timely arrival just in time to protect our liege from mortal danger. We must tell tales of all that's transpired, and once they heard Lady Munichika's glory, we may then have her enter the city. We'll welcome Munichika as a hero, and as the story of her value spread, we can boost the morale of the troops and strengthen Enma Kamui further. Even if she can't use the Akuruka, the impact of her fame should still have a great effect. I can't pass up an opportunity like this. As you return first, my liege, and prepare for the welcoming of the caravan, Nozari, Ogi, Riluti, and Atui shall accompany you.
相変わ
Ah,
らず
your handsome flexible as always.
シトル殿
Lord Oshitor, I
諸
apologize.
生が至らぬばかり
If only my abilities were enough to resolve all of this. It was not for you. If not for your arrival, we may not have won today. Hold your head high and take pride.
胸を張っていただきたい
As I outline the details of my plan, Kuon makes her way over, looking exhausted.
おしとれ
Oshitor, I suggest you be careful of that girl.
どういう意味
What do you mean? You believe she's a spy of Tuscore?
え
I didn't mean it that
そう
way.
いう意味じゃ
You know
な
what?
くて
Just forget I said anything. You'll find out for yourself soon enough.
すぐにわかることかな
Ku! Fumariel wastes no time skipping over to give Ku another hug. Can't seem to pick up on anything dangerous about her.
すぐに
I'll find out soon enough. What's that supposed to mean?
どういう意味だ
Oh, Fumariel has a reputation. It's Lady Munichika. Oh, so that's Lady Munichika. Oh, she carries herself with such dignity. Lady Munichika, quite a lively welcome.
迎えだな
Right at the front of the caravan with a lavish courage, looking around the surviving crowd. Citizens cheer and sway their arms. It's like a giant rippling wave. I know I'm the one who planned a big welcome for Munichika. I don't know if I expected this much energy.
兄上
Brother, something the matter? You seem distracted. Merely reflecting on the scale of this welcome. They seem excited beyond all reason.
確かに
It's true, I was a little taken aback when I first saw it too.
ですが
But it is a welcome for the famed Munichika after all. She's practically a legend sung herself. She's led our army from countless hopeless battles and led them all to victory. No wonder they're overjoyed. Still, this noise is akin to standing in the middle of a battle. Standard sentiment, but after the welcome ceremony, we plan a banquet to celebrate our victory, as well as to welcome the caravan. This level of commotion is going to last through the whole thing. I might have to rethink a couple of my plans. And well, there's another reason for the excitement. Oh, something else excites them? Well, it's possible everyone's in awe of her beauty. Kiru indicates to the carriage behind us with a gorgeous woman visible riding in it. Lady Fumario, was it? Yes, that is possible. From time to time she waves to the crowd, and every time she does so I hear the crowd cheering louder. Mostly from the men in attendance. What exactly is she though? Judging from her appearance, I'm sure she's of some high social stature. You're interested as well, Kiru? I suppose you're the right age for it. It's only natural to be affected by a beautiful woman. Well, what are you talking about? I already have someone I wish to share the rest of my days with. I have no interest in others. I merely jest. You needn't be so defensive about it. Kiru mumbles to himself, looking a little surly, and I give him a wry smile. Truth be told, she's piqued my interest. She seems to have known Kuon for a long time. Kuon? That must be why they seem to get along so well then. Next to the sighing Fumario, Kuon seems to be going through a whole gaunt of emotions. A gamut of emotions? Oh, you smell so nice, Ku. I can't tell well, but Kuon doesn't seem to be in high spirits. Fumario clings happily, her cheek rubbing against Kuon, while Kuon herself looks very tired. She's been acting that way ever since Lady Fumario has arrived. What exactly is the relationship? Look, Ku. Everyone's waving at us. Look how excited everyone is, almost like a festival. Yes, they certainly look like they're having a good time. Everyone seems happy to present herself with elegance and enthusiasm, but Kuon doesn't seem to have her usual energy. What's the matter, Ku? Do you have a tummy ache? Fumario tightens her arms around Kuon just the slightest, peering her at her worriedly. No, I'm fine. Nothing wrong with me. It's just... Just? I'm worried what's going to happen. You intend on staying here, don't you, Fumario? Why, of course. I'm your caretaker, after all. Can't leave your side. After all, you're 2 scores. Fumario, would you, Kuon hastily covers Fumario's mouth with her hands. I thought I told you to keep that secret. Who knows who could be listening? She let go of Fumario, sighing in aspiration. Oh yes, you're right, I'm sorry. Just slipped my mind. Woof. Fumario clapped her hands to her cheeks, giving Kuon an embarrassed smile. Hard to believe from her mannerisms that she's older than Kuon. Don't worry, I'll keep it a secret. I promise. Fine, please behave yourself. What I'm really worried about is... Oh look, Ku, they're even waving from all the way over there. Fumario gracefully stands to respond to the cheering crowd. But then... Huh? As Fumario leans over, the sash keeping her clothes on slides off. Wait, stop! Oh. Kuon swiftly grabs the ends of her clothes, keeping Fumario from inadvertently giving the crowd an indecent response. That was a close one. As our worst fears quickly become apparent. Oh my, wonder when I got loose. Thank you, Ku. Oh, don't have to take me. Just hurry up and keep your clothes on. Honestly, how does this keep happening to you? Really is mysterious. Yeah, it really is. Going back home, it seems like Fumario's clothes could fall off any moment, even though she wasn't doing much at all. I can only imagine what I have to deal with ahead. Look, Ku, think we've arrived. The cage rumbles, coming to a stop before the palace of Enlaf Kamui. Come on, let's get off. Oh, I wonder what kind of things food they have in this country. I can't wait. Are you sure you'll be alright, Fumario? You're representing this caravan. You need to make an introduction without getting distracted. No, I'm older than you, Ku. You have nothing to worry about, really. So that's precisely the reason Kuon is so concerned. Kuon swallows her words. Hi everyone. It's a pleasure to meet you all. My name is Fumario, and I come from Tuscaro. Fumario introduces herself in front of the palace atop her carriage. A large crowd is gathered. Some of them, mostly men, sigh in awe of the sight. Oh. Realizing she's the center of attention, she smiles and waves to the crowd. I'm so glad I lived to see this day. What a breathtaking view. Oh, everyone's so polite. This must be a very respectful country. Come on, they're just ogling you. Some of them are even leaning over to get a better look. Lady Fumero, please come inside. Her Highness has already returned and waits you within. Thank you, young lady. Please watch your footing on these steps. Kiro, go offer her hand. Me? Wouldn't it be better for you to do so, brother? You are the Prince of Anakamoi. This is your duty. My duty as Prince? Is she not an esteemed guest of high status? Yes, she is the representative of the caravan, after all. And it's clear from her demeanor that she had a noble upbringing. So naturally, the responsibility of greeting her will fall to you, the Prince of this land. I understand. You insist, brother. Kiru steps forward and respectfully offers her his hand. Please take my hand, Lady Fumero. Oh, why thank you. She takes his hand and slowly begins to descend from the steps, but in that moment... Oh. She loses her footing on the final step and loses her balance. Watch out! Seeing the danger, Kiru immediately moves to catch her. Sensing an odd softness in the palm, he looks uncertainly downward. She quickly realizes in supporting Fumero, he has inadvertently grabbed her chest. He freezes in place. Oof. Fumero shifts slightly in Kiru's terrified grasp. This is definitely not my intent. I swear. Oh no, I cannot thank you for catching me. Apparently unbothered by Kiru's mistake, she gives her a radiant smile. Oh no. Thank you. I'm pretty sure that's not the appropriate response here. What did you excuse me? Kiru? Yes, right. Farewell. With Kiru still locked in place, Fumero makes her way into the palace. Soft. Oh shit. I see. Soft, was it? Yes. Then what am I saying? How could I let my mind be so clouded by such base thoughts? How am I ever to look her in the face again? Don't dwell on it. Lady Fumero does not seem especially offended anyway. No, I'm talking about Nekone. Suddenly, we seem to be surrounded by a group of men. I can't help but tense up. Look around at their faces and recognize some of them as the men who were enthralled by the caravan's passing. Everyone, is something wrong? One of the men steps forth as the self-appointed representative of the group. Oh, well, we have no business with you, Lord Oshitor. We wish to speak with Lord Kiru. Not my brother, but me? We have something to ask of you. Just one thing. And what would you ask? Man suddenly drops to his knees, clasping his hand to his chest, practically groveling. Please, allow me to shake your hand. Kiru looks dumbstruck, but the other men also speak up at once. I also want to shake your hand too. Please let me as well. Wow, this is some next level. What has gotten into you all? We don't understand it either. We just really want to shake your hand all of a sudden. I don't understand. Can't say exactly what, but I just need to touch your hand immediately. Me too. What? Please, please. Kiru takes an uncertain step back, alarmed by the sheer craved passion in her expressions. Please. I'm sorry, but I refuse. Don't let him escape. After Lord Kiru. Yeah. The group charges after Kiru, leaving a cloud of dust in their wake. Well, probably best if I pretend I didn't see anything. Don't want to get roped into this. For a moment I feel Kiru's pleading eyes upon me, but I turn back to the group, assuring myself it's just my imagination. What exactly was that? Every guy got worked up all of a sudden. You understand when you spend enough time with her, I think. Hearing Kuon's voice, I turn to see her approaching me looking a little tired. Kuon, what do you mean by that? Just be careful. Some people call her the Lady of Destruction, after all. Destruction? That's quite an ominous nickname. Never would have guessed from looking at her. That's just the biggest problem. Never be able to tell from appearance alone. Which means... Just be careful. With that, Kuon follows Fumero into the palace. God, all these thirsty people. Don't even know what I'm supposed to be careful of. She's some Lady of Destruction? What does that mean? The biggest problem is you can't tell by looking. Brother, please, help me. Ignore Kiryu's cry for help, pondering the mysteries of Fumereal. Damn. Clearly, where she walks, Sims follow. That is our problem. After sunset, we hold a luxurious banquet to celebrate our victory and the arrival of our guests. Indeed. Yamato's drinks are without compare. I feel as though I'm finally home. Michika downs her cup, a satisfied smile on her face. I'm very glad to hear it. If you like, I could pour you another cup. I'd be most grateful. What about you, Neko? I think not, and Atui. I believe if you drink any more than you already have, it will affect your performance tomorrow. Oh, go on, don't be like that. Come on, all in one go. But, in that case, I will take the drink in Neko instead. Oh, you're starting to sound like a real man now, yeah? Yes, indeed. You're going to be quite a reliable young man, Kiryu. Dear sister, excess flattery may not be advisable under these circumstances. What do you mean? Alright. All in one go, then. Huh? Isn't this cup bigger than the one you had before? Not sure where she got it, but the cup she's filling now is enormous. Well, I figured a big tough man's gotta drink after a proper manly cup, doesn't he? Well, if that's the case, if mine apparently made up, Kiryu tips back the massive cup. Ah, quite a sizable chug. One more time. Well, Q was about to get clowned on more, huh? Poor kid. Q chugs one cup after another as if they're nothing. Damn. Huh? Has he gone all quiet all of a sudden? His eyes appear to be losing focus. Somewhat. Kiryu, you're not pushing yourself, are you? Brother. What is it? I feel sick. Damn. In one go, huh? Shit, poor kid. Guess today just isn't Kiryu's day. Well, why don't we head out to get you some fresh air then? As I stand and take him outside, someone beats me to it. Honestly, what were you thinking? I should help you. Come here. Nekone, are you sure? Nekone leaves the table as she supports a shaky but somewhat happy Kiryu. Guess today's sun wasn't so bad for Kiryu after all. Well, your turn next, Oshtor. So that's how it's gonna be, huh? I can't afford to pass out drunk tonight. Well, just remember, our liege was calling for me. I must make haste. Oh, Oshtor. Think of a quick excuse, then immediately leave the table. Oshtor. Looks like Anju's worn out from having to greet all the guests. How's everyone? Enjoying themselves? Yes, to their heart's content. I'm glad to hear it. Not that I'm sleepy, mind you, but those who might find my presence a little stifling. Therefore, I think I will be taking my leave now. You are free to drink as much as you please. I'll leave the rest to you. Understood. Good night, and rest well, my liege. Watch Anju leave with her attendants, stifling a yawn. As Anju said, the party gradually becomes more casual as the evening wears on. People split off in their own groups and chat and joke. Things seems especially cheerful over there. Suppose that's thanks to her presence. Oh ho. Guess the honor is the very center of the banquet, happily serving drinks to everyone around her. Well, this is only gonna end well. Even soldiers who haven't even touched their drinks, they're still red in the face, practically entranced by Fumereal. Lady of Destruction, eh? True, she's beautiful. But could she really be as dangerous as Kuon says? Find a secluded seat? A little removed from the noise and fuss of the banquet, studying her from afar. She seems to be having a nice enough time with the celebration. She glides around pouring her own drinks. We will pour you some. How about another drink, master? Ah, yes, I think I'll have some. Sip a cup from the twin sitting at my side. My gaze remains on Fumariel. Interested? Does something about this woman catch your eye? Well, I suppose you can say that I am interested by her. Shall we add her? Shall we include her as a nutter who may attend to your needs? Not interested in that sense. And do I really seem that lustful to you two? Of course. Great men of epic tales historically bed a great many partners in the course of their adventures. Can I be the exception to the rule? Which store? So this is where you've been hiding. I look up, interrupted by a gentle voice. Fumariel stands alongside me, bottle in hand. Lady Fumariel, does our guest of honor have some business with me? Yes, I was looking for you. I hope this might be a chance to formally greet you. A greeting? First, I will like to thank you for holding this banquet in my honor. I'm sure it must have been difficult to invite an ambassador like me to such a celebration. But only recently you were at war with my homeland. It was not my decision alone. Our liege also wished to commemorate your arrival. He was greatly pleased to see Momochika return, and wished a warm welcome to the caravan that made it possible. Is that so? Still, I understand it's a rather politically sensitive situation. I feared that people would see me with suspicion. Your open heart has brought me more relief than I can say. As for me, just know that I've come here on a very personal matter. Personal matter? Yes, I must thank you for looking after Ku. Allow me to express our gratitude as her elder sister. Ku. Ah, right, Kuon. You said older sister? Forgive my curiosity. Are you really Kuon's sister, Lady Fumariel? No, I like to think I am truly her sister in spirit. Ah, so she feels like family. Yes, back in our homeland, we'll spend almost every day together. Ku can be such a child sometimes. She will always follow me around. She was the one taking care of Kuon? Sure. Now, may I pour you a drink as a sign of our friendship? A fine idea. I raise my cup towards Fumariel. Oh. So she's wearing sleeves. I'm confused about her outfit confuses me. First cup then. Oh. As Fumariel tips the bottle forward, she seems to trip on something and lose her balance. And she plows right into me as she falls forward. Ooh, Lady Fumariel, are you unhurt? As Fumariel falls on top of me, I try to lean back up to support her. Yes, I'm fine. I'm sorry, I must have tripped on something. As she tries to get up, I can feel a certain softness pressing and brushing up against me. This is, well... Something the matter? I did not hurt you in the fall, did I? No, I'm fine. You need not worry for my sake. Fumariel tries to peer in my face worried. Guesses I'm trying to keep her from squirming on top of me too much. Every time she moves, her ample chest presses against my torso and I lose my train of thought. And in any case, it would be great help if you could stand yourself up. Oh, Lord Oshtor and Lady Fumariel. Damn it, you get wet for it. Damn it. He beat me to the punch. Hold it, all of you, there's a misunderstanding. You say that, but that's just not fair, Lord Oshtor. Man, I'm so jealous. They aren't even listening to me. I can feel the stares of envy and admiration for the soldiers around us. Anyways, I gotta fix this somehow. My, everyone looks as though they're having fun. I wonder if something's happened. Why is she so calm in a situation like this? I'm left dumbfounded at seeing Fumariel smiling innocently at the soldiers gathering around us. Lady Fumariel, may I ask you to move aside? If we stay like this, it could lead to some, problems. Really? If you insist, Lord Oshtor. She does not seem to quite understand, but she pushes herself up with a puzzled look. Finally, that's a relief, huh? As she moves, I hear the sound of some kind of fabric shifting. Where is that sound coming from? Glance around to see the source of the noise and freeze. So, Oshtor, why do you look so surprised? Lady Fumariel, your clothes have... My, you're right. I was wondering why it felt so chilly. Shouldn't you be more concerned about this? You seem amused rather than flustered, treating it like a simple hair tie to become undone. Well, that explains why I tripped on. I wonder when my sash got so loose. She seems wholly unconcerned that her clothes are falling off, reaching instead for the pile she had a moment ago. Just the slightest movement, and it looks as though her bosom burst out of her remaining clothes. Now then, Sir Oshtor, I believe I was going to pour you a drink. Wait, how did we get to that? Are you not forgetting something more important? Oh, you're right. How careless of me. I forgot to bring refreshments below. Yeah, sure. That's careless of you and everything. But I think there's something a little more important that you're still overlooking.
いやそうではなく
No, that's not what I mean. I'm referring to something a little more important than snacks. Oh, you wish to drink first? Well, I suppose you're right. It's tradition to have a cup before partaking in the food. How the hell did you settle on that? I mean, little Fumer, you're close. Oh, you needn't worry about that, hmm? This bottle feels far too light. Please wait here. I'll go get another bottle. Wait, Lady Fumero, if you get up now... Excuse me? Ah! My warnings go unheeded as Fumero trips on her loose clothes a second time. Bottle in her hand goes flying through the air, sending its contents splattering across my clothes. Code. Oh dear, there must be some cloths nearby. She leans on me again and moving to wipe me down. Lady Fumerhill, please stay still. We must dry you up before you can decode. Wipe. You may leave this to us. Oh, I couldn't. Please, allow me. To one of my side step forward, Fumerhill gently puts her hand up to stop them. I can manage this on my own, thank you. Refusing all help and twin, she begins wiping gently at the splotches of alcohol on my robes. That's really kind of you, I'm sure, but could you please fix your clothes first? Every time she moves, I get a glimpse of her cleavage through her loosened clothes, whether I want to or not. Oh, how is he so lucky? I'm so jealous. Why does Lord Oshtor get all the girls? I can feel the envious gaze just though he is prickling at me. Is this what Kuon was talking about? She's smooth but oblivious. Her actions can accidentally drive men into total chaos. I shudder to think of the effect she's having on everyone. What worries me most is the fact that she's completely oblivious about what she's doing. Biggest problem is that you never expect it from looking at her. Just like Kuon said. In any case, I have to fix this somehow. Thanks to Fumero's effort, I can barely see traces of that spelled drink. Lady Fumero, I think that should do. There's no need for such attentions. If you could... Code. Aru, Sarah, what are you doing? At a sudden flash, I whirl to find the twins pour the rest of the bottle over me. Savor it. You look as though you were enjoying it, Master. Could use improvement. Believe we could do a better job. I sort of crown it. I just got the theme from Yakuza 0 where Majima gets his drink spilled on him. What are you talking about? How could you interpret a situation like that? We will not lose. Please wait there and simply count the spots in the ceiling. We will not lose against Lady Fumero. There's a group of guys around us. Are you trying to get me killed? That's nothing to do with winning or losing. Ah, you two will help me? Why, thank you. And Fumero only responds with a serene smile. So I'm being innocent and all, but I'm the one who has to deal with all this. Wait, just calm down now. No use wasting your breath. Well, time for me to clean you up a bit. Found that Fumero and the twins, 6 hands, work over to dab and wipe the alcohol drenching my clothes. So jealous. So jealous. Lady Oshtor gets 3 beautiful girls over him. Ah, I can't believe this. I feel the envious stares intensifying all around me. Some of them are beginning to feel a little murderous. This is bad. My life might be on the line here. So wet. The spillage appears concentrated around his stomach. Let us clean there. In that case, allow me to see to his chest. Good delegation. We shall leave it to you then. Once that's done, we will wait by the head. We should be done soon. 3 of them continue to happily wipe me off while I care for the fury and anguish of the onlookers. Things have devolved into complete chaos. I have no idea what's going on anymore. A lazy destruction. What power that could bring entire nations to their knees. What terrifying power. Damn. About a month has passed since the battle for Rumuri Pass, and Makamui has settled once more into a comfortable peace. Starting to get a little thirsty. Uru, Sarah, can you acquire some tea for... Oh, I suppose they're not here. Looking around, I realize the study is still and silent. They're usually right nearby, but this time I can't find them. I think about it, I don't think I've seen them since this morning. Oh well, guess I'll get it myself. Man, it's been a while since I've actually been alone like this. Smile creeps across my face as I reflect. I can barely remember a time when they weren't waiting for me hand and foot. Well, I guess even they get busy from time to time. I'll get my own tea for once. Oh, what lovely color it's got now, and the aroma is so soothing. That sounds like... I recognize the voice from the large kitchen ahead. I'll see the source of the voice, and sure enough, I see someone familiar in the corner of the room. Timing is key. Each leaf requires a different water temperature. I must be left to sit for different durations. Check first. Dealing with a leaf you never brewed before, you must test it yourself before serving it to others.
自分でまず飲んでから
You had to try yourself? I see. I'll have to remember that. Boomerang. I admit I'm taken aback. She's standing there, intently listening to the twins' lecture. On the table in front of them, various canisters are laid out with tea leaves, tea sets, and cups. Are they having tea together? No, not quite. Oh, Sir Store, good afternoon.
主さん
Master?
どうかされ
Got
まし
something the matter, Master? No, not at all.
珍しい組み合わせと思ってな。随分真剣に話し込んで
It's just a surprise to see you all together. I hope I wasn't interrupting a serious discussion. They were teaching me the proper method for brewing tea. Teaching you? How'd that come about?
私
The entire time I've been here, I've been so impressed at how delicious your tea is. And these two are always serving you, so I decided to ask them about some of the finer details.
詳しくお話し
Fumio smiles brightly, resting her fingers against her cheek. So they've been gone because Fumio got a hold of them then.
彼女は
Strangely forceful.
物腰は
She is so mild-mannered, yet we cannot bring ourselves to refuse. She seems to be quite a handful for you two. I can't help but smile at the thought of someone turning the tables on the twins. Still, I admire your diligence in your pursuit of tea secrets.
私
Yes, as Uru and Sarah enjoy seeing you happy. I just wish to see Ku happy as well.
より美味しい
If I can brew such delicious tea for her, I'm sure she'll be delighted. Yeah, I can imagine. A gentle smile speaks volume. Kuon must be very precious to her. Was this really a good idea? These two has better not taught her anything weird. Considering all my personal experience with these two twins' shenanigans, I'm starting to feel a little uneasy.
平気
It is fine.
心配いりません
You have nothing to worry about. I gave her an appropriate lesson. If that's so, that's all well and good then.
なら良いのだが。
However, for me to reprimand them when they can talk like they can read my mind.
それがしも
Well,
一緒
if
に
you don't mind, may I listen in? I confess I'm somewhat curious. You can't fool me. I can almost guarantee you're plotting something.
何か
どうぞ
Yes, of course. Please take a seat over
お
here.
座りになってください
Fumio moves aside to allow space for me, gesturing me to sit before turning back to the twins. Now then, if I may, would you continue? Understood.
次は
Next, we will provide some general tips. And so they spread out the tools in front of them, launching an explanation of proper use and care for each. Lesson spans from proper storage of leaves to the aeration of the water, and specific mannerisms among tea drinkers.
大きさで
Choose by size.
大きな
The larger the leaves are used for drinking. If the teas are small, they can be mixed in and boiled. Fermentation level.
完全
Complete fermentation, partial fermentation, and non-fermented. Each tea leaf has unique features. As they explained their methods in great detail, I started to realize how much work they have to put in brewing tea. I didn't expect them to be this genuinely informative.
以上
And that is all.
こんなもの
I
で
should cover the basic elements. Was that explanation clear? Ruru and Sarah finished their explanation, looking satisfied with
なかな
themselves.
か長い話
Went on much longer than I expected. Who knew there was so much depth to tea?
聞いている
It
だ
was
け
fun
で
just listening to you talk about it.
こんなに
Well, I was entranced.
細かに教え
Thank
て
you
く
for
ださ
teaching me such detail.
ありがとうですが
However, Rumio closed her eyes, looking momentarily puzzled about something.
受け付け
We
る
will allow it.
どうぞ
Feel free to ask any questions. Was there anything you did not understand?
いいえ
You know, your explanations were very thorough and easy to understand. I learned so
で
much.
すが
It's just that there are some things I feel I won't understand unless I try them
わ
myself.
からない確かに
True.
やってみて
Some elements must be learned through practice rather than theory.
ですよね
Yes, I think so as well. So, sure, yes.
私
Do you mind helping me practice?
それが
Me help you? Your request catches me off guard. Yes, certainly. I couldn't practice much without someone to taste my tea.
それならば
Surely, Armu and Sarah
とサラダ
could do this.
良い
Looked at the twins uncertainly.
主様
Master,
私た
we
ち
believed that you were perfect for this role, Master.
やは
I
り
prefer to have a taster who can offer me an impartial
それ
opinion.
もそうか
A fair part, I suppose.
わかった
I suppose, if that would please you, I will help.
本当です
Really? Thank you so
あ
much.
りがとうございます
From Muriel gives me a small bow, her face lit up with a radiant
手
smile.
本を見せる
Our example
ま
first.
ずは
We will demonstrate how it is properly done. Please wait a moment.
少々
Immediately, the two start preparing tea with deft, quick movements. Two of them work in perfect synchronicity. No time at all, a fresh cup of tea is on the table before me.
どうぞ
Enjoy. Ah, thank
い
you.
ただこう
I personally watch them go with every step of the process so I can drink without worrying about them having done anything to the tea. The temperature, subtle flavor, and all of it is exactly adjusted to match my tastes. I find myself savoring it despite my worries. Delicious.
上越し
We are delighted to hear.
します
Their expressions are emotionless as ever. I can tell they're pleased. You call those little smiles emotionless, buddy?
すごい
I'm
素
so
敵なんです
impressed.
ね
You both work so naturally with each other.
慣れ
Used to it.
詰まると
In summary, it's best to adjust the tea to the taste of your recipient. As Fumureo looks in awe, the two of them point to each part of the tea set, explaining patiently. Combinations are important. Helps to know the hardness of water and just how it suits the tea leaves. Consider also the heat of day and adjust the tea accordingly. Oh, I have no idea they put so much thought into it. I think I just drink it down without a second thought. I'm getting a real education how much effort goes into every little cup. Serve quickly. The rest is simply about maintaining optimal temperature and serving to master before it cools. Pay close attention. The air in this country can get cold, so it's better to serve while it's still a little hot. I see, so how to keep it hot. They got a point. I guess I do like the tea, that feeling of tea warming me up. Only half listened to the tea and twins lesson, enjoying the scent of tea in front of me. And I suppose it's my turn. Please wait just a moment. I promise I'll have some delicious tea for you soon. This time Fumureo bustled around the makeshift brewing station, mimicking the twins' movements. Looks like she's got the motions down pretty well, but she's not hesitating or faltering, but she keeps using the wrong tools, and she's doing a couple steps out of order. In the end, Fumureo manages to pour a cup of tea and gracefully carried it towards me. Looks like she's walking fine, but I can't help but being a little on edge. She does have a habit of tripping out of nowhere. I have to stay on my toes. Now then, so should I please enjoy— There's absolutely nothing on the floor to trip her up, yet Fumureo still loses her balance and topples forward. Whoa. Catches Fumureo before she falls to the ground and even manages to steady the cup before it spills. Phew, hell was a close one. Thank goodness. Good thing I was ready. One of my hands is holding the cup steady, and the other holds something soft. Can't be. I nervously look down and try to move my hand again. Fumureo looks down, seemingly bewildered by the hand supporting her chest. My apologies, Lee and Fumureo. I immediately let go of her and put some distance between us. But Fumureo seems entirely unruffled. She slowly meets my gaze and smiles. I'm sorry, Sir Store. Thank you so much for catching me. I suppose I was too absorbed in keeping the cup from spilling. I didn't look where I was going. Yes, a close call indeed. I had my suspicions, but she seems to not care at all that I practically just groped her. Look down at my hand. I can still feel the sensation of warmth in my hand from when I was holding her. Unlike Fumureo, however, the twins look very disturbed by what just happened. A little jealous, too. Well then, I have this cup of tea for you. Would you care to take a sip? Oh yes, of course. Please enjoy while it's still hot. I look down at the cup, not a drop spilled. It's a large cup. Scent's pretty nice too. Doesn't seem like anything's wrong with it. Well then, without further ado. Holy crap, that stuff is boiling. Ah, my mouth. Something the matter? Lady Fumureo, I believe this tea may be a little too hot. Try to speak along the scalding pain in my tongue. But they said it'd be good to serve it a little hot. Does this girl not have any sense of proportion? It's a little way past a little hot. If it's too hot, I believe it would be better to cool this down slightly. Oh, I see. Fumureo furrows her brow, studying me with an apologetic look. Did you burn your tongue, Sir Store? Oh yeah, I took a small sip, so I believe it'll be fine. But, Lady Fumureo? Fumureo suddenly strides forward, face to face with me, stares in my eyes. I'm still a little worried. Could you please show me your tongue? I said, I'm fine. This is... Fumureo's innocent eyes piercing mine, her gaze full of worry and determination. Doesn't look like she's gonna let this go. We both now have a choice here. Very well, suppose you must check for me then. Of course. Face immediately brightens. A weapon. A woman's weapon. He cannot handle it. Even our master cannot refuse her when she fences so aggressively. Excuse me then? The twins watch us with very serious expressions as Fumureo carefully examines my tongue. This is... Her face is way too close here. I don't know what she thinks she's gonna find. Oh, how did the line, did it? Yeah, you seem to be right. It's gone a little red though. It seems like you're alright. Phew. She finally allows me to back up a bit and allow a small sigh. Fumureo seems to be satisfied as well, and gives her own small sigh of relief. Well now, then I know you're alright, Sir Store. I'll go give this another try. Oh, thank you. I nod assent, and she happily returns to her efforts with the tea. Water? Please cool your mouth with this. Ah, thank you. Put the tea from an offer cup of water and the pain in my tongue slowly cools subsides. Well, this has been a disaster so far. This might end up more trouble than expected. As I sit there thinking to myself, Fumureo returns it for a second cup of tea. All done. This time it should be perfect temperature. Looks like it's cool enough this time. Don't bother to check the tea before, so this time I tilt my cup as subtly as I can, but it looks okay from what I can see. Well, without further ado, I try one more uncertain sip, and in that moment, can't help but spray a mouthful out. So, Shitor? Oh, was it too hot? Thought it cooled enough this time. No, truly, temperature was not the issue. Looked back down the cup and nearly dropped in shock. It's far too bitter. Spots of the cup are thick dark green, practically verging on black. Very thick. You know let it sit for too long after pouring in the hot water. Put it in later. You must also allow the hot water to cool a bit before adding tea leaves. Is that how it must be done? I'm pretty sure that's all basic stuff. So, show your face. Must be from when I spat it out. I must have made a mess of myself. Just stay still, I'll wipe it for you. No need, I'm a grown man. I can clean myself up. The tea you spill has gone on your clothes. Come now, we'll stay if we don't hurry and take care of that. From Rio's finger lip tips glide across my collar with a quick natural movement like a fish in water. You mean go that far? She almost had me undressed in the blink of an eye. I hastily raised my hand to stop her. Expert technique. She does not force it, but allows it to happen fluidly and naturally. Very educational. What are you teaching these girls? The observer was nodding in operation. The hell is going on here? Now then, let us continue, Sir Oshtor. There's more. Certainly, I've yet to brew a successful cup. She is right. We have not yet taught her all we know yet. Right. Exactly when is this gonna end? Thank you so much, you two. From Rio bows with a very joyous smile. Likewise, there is no need for thanks. You've taught us just as much today. Twins look like they always do, but I can tell they're happier than usual. I think I'll try brewing a cup for crew right now. I'll have time to learn more from you two later soon. Leave it to us. It will be a learning experience for everyone. We'll be glad to. Goodbye then. So Fumuro leaves, humming a cheerful tune. It's finally over. As I'm sure Fumuro's left the room, I sang in its deep side, my stomach. In the end, I lost cup to how many cups they had me drink. I ruefully rubbed my stomach. How did it turn out in the end? Perfect. It was completely flawless. I suppose she's bound to get it after that much practice. Very educational. Perhaps we are the ones who learned more from this exchange. She is a good example. We must hone our techniques to become more like her. Get the impression these two aren't talking about the tea. An Asbury side escapes me, one that's probably tea scented by now, I figure. You will come too. We will love for you to join us if you like you did today. Never want to do this ever again. My stomach. I ache my aching belly, my shoulders drooping. It'll be a long time before I can even look at a cup of tea again. Damn. Now, perhaps it's best not to overthink the problem, but you must see, Lady Routier. I strained for such fresh air, noticed the two talking nearby with serious expressions would gradually come to a halt. Something the matter? They seem like they want to talk, but it also seems like Munichika is trying to get something out of Routier. Oh, Sir Oshtor! Lord Oshtor. As I speak up, the two of you look up to me simultaneously, though their reactions can't be any more different. Well, since Sir Oshtor is here, why don't we ask his opinion as well? Routier seems relieved at the chance to include me. Munichika, on the other hand, gives me a sullen look. But perhaps Sir Oshtor can offer some insight into this. Munichika seems a little reluctant, but Routier is urgent. She seems to relent. So what exactly is troubling you? Well, I was asking Routier for some advice on how I may assist my liege. Surely you know, Lord Oshtor, how fast our liege has matured. True, the princess is maturing a lot more mercy and responsibility in dealing with her subjects. She's settling into her role as ruler. Thanks to that, morale's up, and people are more loyal to her than ever. Well, I guess she does slip up every so often, and the old Anju comes out. So I'm sure one day she'll be a fine and distinguished Mikado. Yes, her growth is truly promising, but you were seeking advice on something? Our liege has adapted to her governmental roles as well, but in her heart she carries a longing for all she's left behind. It pains me to see. Longing? Give her a look, concerned by the vague statement Routier murmurs to me. Seems that lately, people have seen Miss Anju stop and gaze towards the imperial capital. See, she gave the impression that she had moved past it, but I guess I shouldn't be surprised. And so I wanted to think of some way I might be able to ease our liege's heart. I see, but comfort such an aching loss. Difficult prospect, I fear. Indeed, as our liege's retainer, I hope Lady Routier might have some ideas. We cannot seem to come move anything. Sorry. Wish I could have been more help.
いや
Not at all. I must apologize for confronting you so suddenly. I still wish to do something for our
何とかして
liege.
差し上げたいの
Munichika crossed her arms, knitting her brow, and thought, Don't know if I could just dismiss this, especially since he looks so serious about it. Guess I can see why Relute looks so concerned. In terms of realistic favors, how about her food? Perhaps eating something that reminds her of home would cheer her. It will be difficult to recreate the fare served at the Imperial Palace. Under the circumstances, we hardly have access to high-quality ingredients from across the land. We can't offer such luxurious meals. Oh, I assure you, I'm sure our liege is quite satisfied with what she's had here. You have to my uttermost gratitude, Lady Relutier. Thank you. I suppose the best solution would be if she were able to go back to her home, but... Relutier sighs. Of course, we know how impossible that will be right now. So we can only solve this problem by taking back the Imperial capital? Chica looks grim once more. She knows as well as we do that the prospect is almost impossible in her current state. Maybe if she had someone to comfort her in hard times like this, she might feel better. Seek comfort. I see. Lord Oshtar, may I ask for your help? Of course, but what exactly would you have me do? Thank you for your help. If you will excuse us, then let us go, Lord Oshtar. Of course, I hope you managed to cheer her up. We'll take you as a polite bow, and we may await back. So, Lady Moonchica, what do you have in mind for us to do first? What our liege needs right now is parental love. Huh? Moonchica doesn't need to hear me as she continues on pulling me along until we reach Anju's room. Excuse us? Oh, Moonchica, did something happen? Found Anju sprawled lazily in the middle of the room, looking up at some questionable reading material. There are half-eaten snacks scattered around her on the floor and a couple of books nearby. Someone was stricken by loss. She seems pretty laid back about the whole thing. Oshtor, why are you here? She jolts, realizing I've entered the room as well. Her house still scurries around, cleaning up the mess as fast as she can. She gathers the books in one big clump and shoves them to the side, quickly straightens out her clothing, then clears her throat awkwardly. Good of you to come by, Oshtor. A little late. Munichika barely seems to notice her fussing, taking a step forward. My liege? I must apologize to you. I'm able to see the sorrows within your heart. I beg your pardon? What is all this? If it pleases you, then you may consider me as your mother. I will perform any duty you wish. Anju seems even more baffled. Munichika takes a step closer, her face gravely serious. Ah, jeez, this is what you mean by parental love? Somehow I resist the urge to facepalm. Anju tilts her head, looking bewildered. Munichika, is this some sort of joke? You need not hide it. I've seen you look to the Imperial capital many a time, accompanied by a sigh of grief. Ah, you saw me then. Somber look falls across Anju's face. It only seems to encourage Munichika, and she continues on. I know all too well the grief you must have felt at the Mikado's death. No, I myself cannot fill that role for you. Munichika, what exactly are you going on about? Oh no, this cannot be good. Anju's word falls on deaf ears as Munichika continues her passionate speech. If you wish it, I shall do anything you require. Sleep beside you at night. Anything. So why exactly is Oshtor with you? Oh no. Despite the passion in Munichika's speech, Anju still looks uncertain. Yeah, I'd like to know that myself. I really hope she had a good reason for getting me involved in this. In response, Munichika straightens with pride. Though it pains me to say, I alone cannot fill the shoes of the Mikado. And so, I thought it'd be more appropriate for you to consider me your mother and Lord Oshtor as your father. You've got to be kidding me. What? Munichika's declaration stuns us both. You mean to say you and Oshtar are husband and wife? Anju sinks weakly into her chair, apparently in shock at the revelation. Yes, that is one interpretation. Since when? Hold on, that's not a question you should be asking here. Anju doesn't seem to hear Munichika muttering feebly. How long have you two been in such a relationship? There's no relationship between the two of us. My liege. Basically cut in, hoping to keep this from getting any more complicated. What Lady Munichika means to say is that she would like you to consider her as a mother figure and rely on her more. Oh, that is your intent. Anju brightens for a moment, but she quickly lowers her gaze in embarrassment. You should have said so to begin with. Perhaps then I wouldn't have misunderstood. My deepest apologies. It appears my explanation lacked clarity. Munichika bows her head in apology, and Anju settles back in her usual carefree attitude. But alright, I suppose I jumped to the conclusion as well. Yes, the more I think on it, the more bizarre it feels to have you two as husband and wife. Anju points at herself as she continues. If it was a different example, say Ushtor and I, they'd be far more plausible. Ah, I see. Then I shall play the part of the child. Well, that is... you lost me, Bob. At Moody Chica's words, Anju falters once while looking entirely out of her depth. I get it. Don't worry, Princess. I understand completely. What you want to say is, there's absolutely no way she can be mistaken for a child. Damn. By the way, how exactly did this idea of yours come about? After everything's been cleared up and we had given up on playing house? Anju muttered in bemusement, staring at the setting sun to the west. I believe Lady Muchika was concerned about you were carrying a great mental burden. I sound almost dazed by the whole thing as she does. Anju sighs wearily. Ah yes, that's exactly what she was talking about. She is no longer around to hear us, having returned to her duties guarding the room's entrance. Well, you can't just redefine a relationship like she was trying to do. No question comes to mind. So in the end, why were you gazing towards the Imperial capital, my liege? Oh, that. I brought a book from Lady Ruti. I was wondering how the story continues. It's quite difficult to find new publications in this land. I got caught up in this mess. Just because of that, I have to keep my side strictly inward and look up into the sky. We kicked up a fuss for yaoi dojins. I don't know how long she's been there, but I can see Munichika on our side, bowing her head deeply. Rest assured, my liege. I, Munichika, can sympathize. Pardon, Lady Munichika? Nothing. A veil of darkness set over the sky. I can see the twinkling of the first star of the night. You wish for me to teach you the ways of battle? Yes, I know it's an unreasonable request. Whether general or not, I'm comparatively only a novice. To teach one of Lord Ushtor's skill, I fear I will only embarrass myself. No surprise you'll be hesitant. You regard right himself as coming and looking to her lessons of warfare. Honestly, we've only got this far brute force and seeded the last-minute plans. Right now, the general, I need to make sure I have a firm grasp of the essentials of battle and tactics of war. Apologies, I've been thinking lately. And myself. And I believe I rely entirely too much on my Arukuga. As long as I yet wear this Arukuga, I would like to cast off my dependence on it. Through that, I believe I should relearn the art of welfare, from the fundamentals upward. If I wish to truly expand my perspective, I can no longer rely on my rusted old strategies. I must see the battlefield through the eyes of another. Teach me how to fight! We have many strong warriors here, not inferior by any means, but among us, Lady Michika, you are far more experienced as a general and strategist. Will you accept my request? I understand. So that's how you see it? I lost my Akuruka, yes, but such prudence did not occur to me. I see now. Yes. I think I would appreciate a chance to review my lessons as well. If you have no objections, I shall restrict you. Thank you. Michiga's trials. And I could get rewards. Nice. You can do this to learn and to get free scrolls. Wind Faith, Nature's Harmony. Oof. Need to be higher level to learn all the lessons, but alright. Let's do a little bit grinding. Let's see how this goes. Who's my team? Oh shit, I'm fighting against Oshtor? Crap, Oshtor, Kuon, Atui, Munechika. Ooh, this is not gonna be a pretty matchup, that's for sure. Oh, this is gonna be so tough. Oh no.
狙い撃ちます。
Okay, if I want to have any chance of winning, I gotta snipe Kuon.
体がうずく
Oh no.
面白かったお願い勝利はいっぱいよ 無茶しすぎないでね
ここは任せるじゃない。
破る神代の息吹離してここは慎重に行くですゴミは焼却なのです
Beat a faster treat. Nope. Walk
発
down.
注長が一人。鎮守
Ah,
の胸
shit.
お任せください暗闇消え去って
Force side, huh?
ないようですね。
長期。
さてさて。
さてどう攻めるか一度せどうだ世を誰だと心得る
なんでこれより先進むことを禁ずる。
見た
Almost
こと
there.
か
さあ行くぞ。
Damn.
どうだ。次。
押してまいる。参る。願わくばよりは全身全霊。参る。
Got the time.
くれたのこれでどうじゃ
立ちふさがるなら叩き潰す。
What?
確かないというのか勝利のために一つ痛かったです順調だねあーまずは目の前の敵ね
Damn.
決まったかなこの距離なら
役に立ちましたか。
逃がさないぞ。
Enemy
が
time.
入ってません。
見えたか。
ここは慎重に行くですご命令ください
誰だ。
Dang. Why is he so tanky?
活躍した見ていただけました逃がすわけにはいきませんいけます
小生に力を示すがよい。アフリカがなくても小生は発注長なのだ。
死人の
目が回りませんまだまだ遊びたいねその時間や
Yep, getting close. Making sure she can't do anything.
次はちょっと簡単やって
Oh my gosh, she
守り
leveled
抜
up.
く。
This can't do this, not fair.
願わくばこの拳
勝利のために
祈らん
どう戦おうか。
Dodge. Alright, we gotta take out Kuon no matter what.
皆の者、世と共に戦ってくれ。
ナルド
見たことか。
応戦する
Okay, losing attack is
ここで
fine.
眠
お
っていろ
任せください長期任務ですが長期任務ですの
マッキュマッキュ。
この距離ならさすがに
悪く思うな見えたかい
ここは慎重に行くです。ゴミは焼却なのです。行きます。白様。
まだこれからだ
Yes. Give me the EXPs. More EXP. More zeal. Damn.
お任せください。はい。
ナルドアフリカがなくとも小生は発注賞なのだ守り抜くそれが小生に与えられた使命願わくばこの拳
やっとうちの出番や。おまけ。面白かったか。私に続いて。どう戦おうか。一つ。一つ。
退路はないようですねいかがでしょうまだまだですね
Does this clash of swords bore you? Whereas if poison may add sufficient novelty. Counterattack, huh?
皆の者、世と共に戦ってくれ。見たことか。
さあ行くぞ逃しませんこれでどうだ少子
目が回りません。
よし落ち着いてこれでだかな小生の名において前をこう
この程度でへこたれてはおられない。
Yes.
ひねり潰してくれ。
Oh, jeez.
小生は発注賞なのだ
任せるじゃない見えたか
邪魔させない。敵を排除します。
Can I make it? Can I make it? She.
アフリカがなくとも小生は発注賞なのだ
まだこれからだ
するです。大きなのです。ここは慎重に行くです。
Heal. Heal.
努力油断大変勝利のために。はっこれで決まったかな。
退路はないようですね長期
るじゃない。
Okay, stupid five. And five.
ゆるい攻撃
And then I guess I didn't make it. Oh well.
応戦する。殺させる。そこで眠っていろ。
のこと
Done.
聖書
見たことか。
申し訳ありません。
やっとうちの出番や。
Wanting Atui down Kokobo. Smartest plan ever.
落ちそうです。勝利のために。一つ。痛かったでしょ。
Damn. I guess I'm moving on you. Ah, jeez. That sucks.
私に続いて。海はもう決まったかな。何も残らぬのか。
さて行きますよ。長期まだまだ大じゃねえの。こんなところですか。ゆるい攻撃だね。できねえぞ。捉えた。大じゃねえの。見えたかい。狙い撃ちます。
海中いいところを見せないと。上がれ。この程度気が抜けない。
やってやるです。痛みを油断大敵なのです。邪魔させない敵を排除します。動きを補正します。撃退しました。
少子
もう褒めてもらえないんですよね。
Man, the books have to shoot Shadow out there.
落ちそうです。
さて行きますよ。長期まだまだ大じゃねえの。こんな遅いですか。ゆるい攻撃で撃点を崩します。
Oh, busted.
まだまだこりゃダメだ。
勝利のために。決まったかな。それじゃ行く次は誰や。
慎重に行かないと。これでこれならさすがに。
応戦する。
It is too far forward. Although it might not be a bad way to snipe.
やるです。
Okay, retreat, retreat. Fast retreat, and he'll be the one.
突っ込みすぎなのです。参ります。消え去って。
Strategy, my boy.
まだこれからだ。
見ていただけましたか。
障害を排除します。長期
まだまだかな。
That should end her.
こんなところですか。
Ew. Man, these two are just stuck here doing this all day, huh?
ありがとうココポ。
これはまずいな。少子
この距離なら止まれ。
やってくれる。
さすがに。さて行きますよ。超キック。
Alright. Now he's got reverse for fate, full heal.
まだやるですか？行こうココポ。
This never ends.
見心のままに。
これからだ。
Damn.
こ
Oh.
こで眠っていろ。
言いませんねよ。面白かったね。
退路はないようですね。
まだまだ奥義。この程度か。やってくれる。
さて行きましょう。超キック。
やってくれる。皆を頼ってばかりではならぬ。
悪なの
これがそれがしの覚悟だ。
守ります。皆さんのお役に。ありがとうココポ。
この距離なら。
これ以上の消耗は。この技で
You know what?
油断大敵なの。
どうだ。これがそれがしの覚悟だ。
参ります。暗闇消え去って分解し主様のために逃がすわけにはいきません。大地の
You're blessed.
必ずお役に立ってみせます。
ご覚悟を。
Easy. Easy. These two? Damn. Getting bullied right here.
面白かった。まだまだ遊びたいねよ。
Damn.
次は
Ah, dang, dang. That's what we can do, but to lose HP gradually.
するわけには。
Oh, this is a
目が回りません。
pretty one-sided fight, huh?
狙い撃ちます。やったかな。
Well, there it goes.
さて行きますよ。
I'm surprised Ogi was able to 1v1 Jack Wolf. That was funny.
こんなところですか。手はず通りでしたね。
Almost there. I think I'll have one more scene and call it a bit of a night. Not too exciting today, but it's more build-up. And let's see how Anju's doing. One day in the early afternoon, my liege has called for me? My brush stops mid-stroke. I'm a little caught up off guard by the sudden request. I'm busy now that we're taking back from Muri Pass. For our defense of that place, we see you say that the Imperial Army won't attack anytime soon. We have to prepare our forces as much as we can while we still got some breathing room. Yes, dear brother. Sound like an emergency. Emergency, huh? I can just imagine what kind of impossible demand she's got for me now. Despite my misgivings, I rise from my seat and make my way towards Anju's room, leaving the rest to Nekonai. With Munechika back on duty, I've been getting summoned less and less, but... there you are. Seeing me approach, Munechika greets me from the door of Anju's chambers. I was informed that our liege called for me. Yes, I attempted to reason with her, told her that you must be quite busy, but she overruled me, insisting that she absolutely had to see you. Forgive me. Munechika sighs, though her face remained fixed in a forced smile. Guess even Munechika bows to princess's whims every once in a while. Still, supposing considering the state she was in when we first got to Enro Mukui, it's probably a good sign she's back to her old innocence. Our liege is inside? She has been waiting most impatiently for you. I'm sure she may have some unreasonable demands. Please try to smile and let them slide. Turning to her stiff smile, like a knee in front of the double sliding doors. At your command, I have come. Good. You have done well. Enter. Munechika slides the door open, and Anju grants me permission. See the princess smiling at me from within, sitting in a grand throne-like chair. Once inside, I greet her as a subject, kneeling deferentially. Pleases me to see you in good spirits, my liege. No need for such formal greetings. Now, sure, don't be so closer. Cannot see your face well. I see. Back to you, your princess, then. Hiding a soft smile, I drew closer to the blinds. Anju smiles happily, then speaks once more. You know, this is a fine country. The land is barren and cold. Yet the people still find a strength to smile. They took me in. The homeland is a fine place. Kind words indeed. Yes, it would have been nice if it were a bit more lively. Anju sighs quietly. More likely she's remembering the imperial capital. Yet it's nostalgia. The capital is also the center of most of the land's mercantile affairs. This country cannot compare in terms of workforce or in goods available. Reading those words, Anju speaks with a serious expression. Oh, Shtor, I must know. How much longer do you imagine it will take before we claim the imperial capital? I see. I explain why she called for me. Extremely postulated question. I've known for some time Anju wants to take back the imperial capital as soon as possible. Rumor passes that you're ours once more, and Munechika has returned to my side. Surely we are that much closer to marching on the imperial capital? As we are now, it will be impossible. With such a direct difference between our forces, if we challenge them now, we will be crushed. That will be the end of it. We make haste, but we do so with care. Above all else, we must ensure the strength of our forces' foundations. Munechika comes to my aid, supporting my points. Anju seems to understand the gravity of the situation, but she asks one more question, apparently just to confirm. Even with your power then? Oh, you sure? After Yamato's twin shield? And Munechika, the guardian of Yamato, even with your powers? Remember that Mikotsuchi stands against us, the other of the twin shields. That's right, Mikotsuchi's on the other side. Along with Oshtor, he was part of the twin shields that protect the Yamato. By the order of our late liege, it falls upon me to protect the people he loved. In that capacity, should a force attack the capital, any force, it is my duty to annihilate them, no matter whose banner they fly. Even with this mass and the name of Oshtor on our side, I can't say we have an advantage. Even with Munechika here, she can't match his power without her mask. Let's see. Anju looks down, vexed by the news. I feel some uncertainty stir within me at the sight. Honestly, shouldn't be promising anything too ambitious, but... well, we would not solve all our problems in a single day. Certainly things are difficult now. But we are slowly regaining our strength. Soon enough, your wish will come true, and we will take back the imperial capital. I ask you just to remain patient just a bit longer. Truly? I look forward to it. Anju's face breaks into a grateful smile as she meets my eyes, and a familiar wave of guilt passes through me. I thought I was done feeling guilty by now. Now, I must be going to check on the state of our soldiers. Stand up quickly as did to shake off my feelings of guilt and prepare to leave, sending Anju to a slight panic. She hurries to get her words out. Wait, you've only just arrived. Surely you could relax just a bit more. We so rarely get chances to talk, just the two of us. I'm sure there must be some things we can discuss. Munechika's still right there. Why do you not come see me more often in the first place? I do so look forward to your visits. Now I think about it, I've been so busy that I haven't shown my face around here much, and I'll only get busier. I should probably be evasive. My liege, you will one day rule as Mikado of Yamato. Even I can't be visiting you so often. Anju's face falls, clearly displeased by my response, but remember once she brains again. Seems like she has an idea. And perhaps it would be better if I came to visit you instead? So that's your angle. You got your priorities wrong, princess. You really shouldn't be out and about so much. No, that would be... No complaints? Good. Even if Oshito is busy, then we shouldn't have a problem. A fine idea if I do say so myself. Just barely managed to hold back a sigh. My liege, you must not say such selfish things. Oh. Anju looks awkwardly to Munechika as if just realizing she still existed. Well, Munechika, go outside for a little while. I cannot do that. Thank you, and a wait, why not? I'm my liege's shield. I must always be by her side. It's my duty to protect you. And the idea that I might abandon my post is absurd. I wish to have a private conversation. Am I not allowed to hear it? Not exactly. I wouldn't put it that way. Then what is it? In any case, it's an important conversation. And after all, Oshito is here, yes? With him, my side, I need fear nothing. Munechika let the desperate sigh, face palm. Lord Oshito, my apologies, but please indulge your demands for a little while longer. Hold on. What do you mean demands? I wish to have a very important talk about national policy. This is a secret conversation. Allow no one to enter, understood? I understand. Then I'll leave it to you. Sighing at Anju's behavior, she finally leaves the room. Now, Oshito? Yes. Anju expresses me once again. My response sounds a little more startled than I intended. Thankfully, Anju doesn't seem to notice. Instead, she rises with a clear expression, beckoning me closer. Now, what was it you wish to talk about? Well, I would just have one idea. Why don't you sit down a bit on this chair? Say so? Anju passed the chair she's been sitting on. What? I'm saying to sit. That chair was made for Anju by the castle town's finest craftsman, a masterpiece made in the image of the original throne. Then that will mean... No way, definitely a bad idea. I cannot do that. Oh, we can dispense with the formalities. It is merely a chair. It hardly matters who sits upon it. And if I say it is alright, surely that should be the end of it. Come, come. Anju smiles impishly, tugging at my sleeve. Good grief. It will probably be worse to refuse at this point. Against my better judgment, I sit in the chair. Here. What? And with no warning, Anju plumps down on my lap. Aww. She even leans back, making herself comfortable without any hesitation. My leash? Oh, I dare say it is quite comfortable. She's not listening. Sitting on her throne is bad enough, but this... Now that she's gone this far, I can't exactly argue with her. Of course she'll send Munechika outside for this. If she found out what Anju was up to, the usual punishment wouldn't be enough. But if I just push her off now, from the princess's perspective, it will be Oshito that did it. If I make a mistake on this, she could end up even more depressed than before, and that'll affect her morale as well. I should just be patient until she gets bored. Still myself having made up my mind, and for some reason Anju stares up at me. She looks extremely pensive all of a sudden. Is something the matter? And Anju suddenly looks down. Did she notice something out of place? Oh, finally! My feelings have reached Oshito. After decades of determination, finally, victory is mine. How have I waited for this? Hey, Oshito. Yes, what is it? I just wanted to call on you. Is that right? You're one from your son. Oh, why does she sound like a perverted old man? Princess, you're not making a very princessy face right now. After a while has passed. If Oshito is here, I'd like to get through, I think. You cannot. I've been told that none may enter. What's this? A bit of an urgent matter. I was with Munechika and Kuon? This request has been noted. I'd really rather speak to Oshtor about it directly. Even so, I cannot let you pass. Anju's been pretty relaxed until now. By the sound of the way that she frowns. What's this? Who dares disturb my hour of bliss? Something fishy here. I know you put Anju's need above everything else, but Runechika, I know one must take her priorities. Now, what are you hiding? I cannot imagine what you're talking about. Doesn't matter, you're letting me through. Oshtor, I need to talk to you. It's not the medicine reserve. As Anju lifts her head, Kuon takes a couple light steps in the room and our eyes meet. What are you doing? Kuon gives us a bright smile, but there's something menacing in it. Oh no. Oh no. The very atmosphere in the room seems to change. I'm not say why, but I feel a chill run down my spine. I'm not sure what I can... She's not jumping to conclusions, is she? Kuon, this is... What is it, Kuon? I'm busy with something. Come back later. As if to silence me, the two confront each other, locking eyes. Kuon continues to smile eerily, and Anju speaks, making her bad temper clear. Oh really? Unlike yours, my business is important. And what does that mean? My business is important as well. Doesn't look that way to me. Allow me to clarify, fool. Oshtor is currently keeping me company. Your presence is not needed. Two of us are sharing a moment of bonding. Not thoughtful of you to intrude. My liege, that's a bit too far. Would you not say so, Oshtor? Seeing Anju calmly looks to me for support, clinging onto my arm. Kuon sighs, aspiration clear on her face. With no interruption, she takes hold of my other arm. Now, Oshtor, let's lead the princess. B, so you can actually attend this business. Oh. Being pulled on both sides, I rise from the seat, but Anju only tightens her grip on my arm, glaring at the girl across from her. You know, I'm just now remembered. Didn't you run a wolf somewhere already? Now would be a good time to do that again. Uh-oh, now she's crossed the line again. With a fierce tug, two of them pull on my arms. Faint creaking could be heard, not the nearby wooden setting or anything in the atmosphere, but the distinct sound of fabric under stress. My arms are gonna come off. Oh yeah, they're both super strong. Nice knowing you, buddy. The two pull harder and harder, facing each other down with strangely tight smiles. Not only that, would you just let go already? Ugh. I believe that's my line. My joints scream out in pain. My limbs are being twisted in ways that feel physically untenable. By now, I would normally let out a yell of pain at the very least, but even in circumstances like this, I cannot let Archtown make sounds like that. I need to sway both of them and stop this. Both of you. You have to calm down. Try to be as diplomatic as I can, a cold sweat beating down my forehead, but they're past the point of listening. They're just pulling even harder. This isn't funny anymore. If they keep this up, they're gonna end up with 2 pieces of meat. If you want to take the Imperial capital back, don't you think you shouldn't be wasting your time playing around like this? They say haste make waste, do they not? Oh, don't give me that. Yeah. And they would have resolved the situation on their own. They ferociously pull on my arms. The pain has gone beyond all measurable levels. I'm dead if this continues. Straight up dead. Do you two know of the myth of Solomon's judgment? Faced with the crisis in my life, I practically end up shouting in self-defense. Huh? What is this all of a sudden? What's this sudden interruption? Kuon and Anju respond at the same time, startled by the unfamiliar legend. Thankfully, that eases the pressure somewhat. Caught between their questioning gazes, I try myself freezing up, but I burst the first thing that comes to mind. But if I don't take this chance, I'll never get out of this. Gotta find some way to distract him. Once upon a time, there was a king that settled disputes with the people called Solomon. This king eased the people's hearts and was well known for his warm-hearted judgment. He was thought of as the ally of the people. Oh, Romani. One day, a problem was brought forth to this king. Apparently 2 women were fighting over a child. One woman claimed that they were the real mother, and they refused to give up the child. This troubled the people greatly. This king suggested that both mothers pull on the children's arm with all their might, and the winner will be considered the real mother. Kuon sighs slightly. Anju seems satisfied by the idea, though they haven't heard the story to the end. Ah, so then when this start the war, I guess Oshtor saved me alone. Oshtor, no. How did you get to that interpretation? So whoever wins, Oshtor will attend to their marriage first. Sounds right, I think.
異論は
I
ない
have no qualms. Let us begin. Man, should have just shut his damn mouth.
お二人とも
You two, there's more to the story. My liege, I heard some unusual noises from. Caught in desperate situation, I see Munechika slide the door open and peer in, apparently drawn in by all the commotion.
失礼した
My apologies. I shall leave you to it.
ごゆるり
No, come back. The door closes quiet. She dipped. Oh, sure is dead.
ふむ
Then I should do as I please.
ちょっと待った
No, hold on.
せー
Here it goes. Here it goes. Both sides yank all their might and the pain kicks in and I feel my consciousness fading. The earth-saying scream that follows could be heard throughout the castle and spawn more than a couple ghost stories among the guards thereafter. Damn. Alright, this seems like a pretty good place to stop for now at the 3-hour mark. I'll continue this next time. Now, thanks for showing up as always, and to anybody still watching, thank you so much for keeping up the series. There will be more to come. Anyways, have a good night.